I think the stram has began. Oh,
Okay.
Play some music.
Play some music. Let's do it.
Oops.
Hi, everybody. Happy... What day is it? Friday.
We're actually live right now. Hold on. I'm gonna
Actually live. Friday.
I'm gonna put. Hey, Tech. What's up?
What's up?
Let me just see here. I'm just gonna do a message on the Discord. I'm gonna Discord the mess. Yeah, happy Monday, everybody. It's a good Monday. How's everybody doing here? How you doing, Polo?
I'm doing pretty well. Yeah.
Yeah, you ready to start?
How's everybody? I'm ready to start the stream. Let's do it.
Mooseandpolo.com. We should make the URL mooseandpolo.com/stream because we might want to not do Twitch in the future.
We can do all the things.
That's
in
right.
fact, we could multi-stream. Maybe one day in the future. It's pretty easy.
I think
just
I can do
haven't
it
started
right
it yet.
Ooh,
Mhm.
I should start recording. There we go. I'm recording them now too, just as an extra precaution. It's really dumb because OBS. Here, I'm gonna fill your head with some technical jargon. OBS can record multiple video formats. I prefer MP4 just because you can upload right to YouTube. It's it's way easier. Mac, PC, it's just like a better I guess container. But you need to use MKV if you want. Like MKV is important to use if you don't want it to lose your entire file if the stream gets interrupted. So like you're forced into using that file format, which is really annoying. Like
there is a method that you can use to sort of route back and get MKV and MP4. There is a system where anyways.
Yeah. Technical jargon.
Yeah, jargon.
I mean,
jargon isn't that like what moose are all about? Like I would imagine being a moose of business that you would really want jargon.
I like that jargon, you know. My whole head is jargon these days. It's been a very technical, busy week. Been working late nights, so my head is all over the place. So
yeah, I hear ya.
Bear with me. Oh, should we just do it early?
Let's do it early.
You know, it says 10:15. Is everybody here? Would you, if you want us to start the stream, say flibbity Jew, flibbity goo? What do you want to say? Say it out loud.
Flibbity goo. Say start the stream already.
Start the stream already. Flibbity goo. I don't know where flibbity goo came from. It's what I say. It's like the first random words, made up words that come into my head, and I like it. Flibbity goo. Okay.
I want to hear some music.
There is music. Oh, this music. Okay, here we go. All right.
Yeah. I want the intro.
Here we go. We're actually doing it. We're starting early because we got a big stream.
You are now watching the Polo Show.
Yay!
Hello! Look at all those awesome parrots.
Will it get to the
Look
corner?
at all those awesome moose.
Yay! It's another week. It's another show. Look at us. We're doing it, everybody. Are you proud of us?
Proud.
We're so proud. I'm proud of us.
Welcome to the Moose and Polo Show, the most exciting place on the internet. Take it away, guys.
Da-da-da.
Hey,
Da-da-da.
We did it. We're back.
Well, you did it. I listened.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I just pressed a few buttons. It's like really, it's just like the Stream Deck. I got a Stream Deck, ladies and gents. And it's just a bunch of buttons in front of me, and I press it, and things happen. So it's almost like magic. Hey, you got one too. Wow.
Hey.
You should hook it up. We should set it up so that you can control the stream. I figured out how to do it.
One day I'll figure out all the fancy stuff. Oh, did you? Like
Yeah.
remote stream decking?
Well,
Cool.
all we need to do is basically just like have you stream through OBS and then when you call me, just use your OBS virtual camera.
Yeah, we should mess around with that. That'd be fun.
Yeah, I did it last week with the Jam Room jam, like when I remixed the whole the whole.
That was my favorite part.
Stream. Yeah.
Once you found a group,
it takes a while. Oh, I got some MIDI stuff added, so I can now the drums are all synced. So there's a master clock in the room now, so it's gonna be way easier to find a jam. I don't have to manually pump in the BPM. Sorry.
That's awesome. No, that's good.
Yeah.
I've been thinking a lot about BPM this week, as I'm sure you have as well. Strangely, beats per minute in music is becoming more and more us. Yeah, there you go. Not that it ever left. No. I mean, you've been BPM all this time.
Yeah.
I mean, if there's anybody who's beats per minute, it's Moose.
What's that? Come on, in the chat, come up with Moose and Polo relevant acronym for BPM.
Oh, like so not beats per minute, but no, what does BPM mean in Moose land?
Polo Moose. Best Polo Moose. Business per moosies. I like that. Business per moose.
That's awesome. It's a KPI. This is one thing that you guys are going to experience when you get more and more into the working world is you're going to hear the word the acronym KPI thrown around all the bloody time. It's like, what's the key performance indicator of this? Like how many moose made business? How many parrots made party?
Party.
Parrots for party. PFP.
PFP. I like that a lot. Yeah. Right on.
We've got a great, big, amazing, with new intro picture thanks to Tech and Dialga. So, shall we show?
Oh yeah, let's do it. Here we go.
Awesome. Oh, and by the way, I think I saw some folks going, "Hey, when are you going to actually talk about gameplay and all the rest of that?"
Whoops! Oh no!
Whoa!
I forgot what I'm doing. What am I doing? There we go.
There you go. There's the gameplay. Hey!
Sorry.
No.
I just leave the stream where it was from the last week, so I don't even know where the positions are. So to continue. Did I give you a panic attack?
Oh, it's too much me. Way too much me.
I could go for some more of you. I could use some more of you.
Just a little less is good.
Okay.
So gameplay stuff. I mean, we're just so early on the prototype that there's just not anything to show. So and also I've got a little secret with it. So that's why I'm not really showing that stuff off yet. But once we get towards alpha, then we can actually start digging into gameplay, design doc, all the rest of it. But I mean, the long and short of it is we're working on something that's penguinish, and that's pretty bleedingly obvious. But it's something where you can walk around and chat. That's the first step, which and it's 3D, so that's different than what has been out for the last bit. So
it's cool.
Yeah, there you go.
It's cool. It's gonna be cool, and it's gonna be.
I am really, really excited, and I'm really thankful that we have some pro teams working on it.
And honestly,
and then,
I think that I once we get into the gameplay stuff, then it's going to be about the gameplay stuff. I just love spending as much time as we can on this awesome community stuff. And I was talking to Tech about this earlier this week. It's like all this Discord activity, all this fun community activity of us getting to know each other and hanging out is going to be like the spirit of the game. So whatever we can do to emulate what the energy of this gameplay is going to be, it's all going to be ported over from the Discord, as far as culture and lore and everything. So technically speaking, I mean, in a weird way, the gameplay is already kind of happening. Sort of. Not really.
Yeah. The cool thing as well is I'm working on a plan right now to enable basically game jamming. So I just have to get that. I have to get a bunch sorted out to do that. But what I want to do is get some game jams going on so that folks can contribute from anywhere and form up a team and submit it almost like an igloo contest. So anyway, stay tuned for that. I'll figure out how to set up that game jam. It's going to take me some time to get the logistics set up for it, for folks to be able to contribute and collab freely without waiting for us. So yeah, I just got to sort that out. Anyways, let's get into the stream.
Yeah,
let's get into the community stuff.
All right. This stream is brought to you by Bitsy Mouse's Stream Silent shirt. This is amazing. I need to wear this.
Is it up yet? Do we have this up somewhere that I can buy it?
I don't know, but I
Bitsy,
would buy it.
Put it up on a store somewhere, Bitsy, and I'll pick up a copy. I'm sure you will too, Moose.
Hold on a second. Okay. Yeah. Anything like this. I mean, here we go. Here's another image of a stream. Check it out. So like we could even just make this a new shirt, right? Let's just keep it going. So like here we go. Here's another challenge.
I kind of like the idea of that body mock-up, like on the actual like on the actual shirt. So you got this like weird like guy with a goatee at the top of the shirt, like by the neck. Like you're just like, what is this shirt you're wearing? It's the most bizarre thing I've ever seen printed.
It's amazing. Okay, so this is what I propose. Until we get a shirt made, we just update what the shirt's going to be in this format. So right now, this screen we're looking at will be the shirt if it gets made. And then next week, we'll preview what the shirt's going to look like. And if we haven't made it yet, it's just going to be one layer in further. So what do you guys think? I love that there's a comments in the page. And this one, so if this one gets made, my dad literally told me yesterday that he wants a Moose and Polo shirt. 100% true. Like, that'd be an awesome thing to have on a t-shirt, you know. Okay.
You know, it's funny, it's like being a dad, like you're super uncool, and then until I show up with like other dads, and then my kids are like, haha, my dad's way cooler than your dad's. So I'll show up and all these business dads around, and I'll show up just like total slacker dad, be like, hey dads, and they're like, what? How come he's so young? Yes.
I'm not at the stage yet where my kids compare other dads. I'm just, you know, that must be like a teenager thing or a tween
that's
thing.
coming.
Oh dear. We'll see. Dad competition, yeah. I mean,
dad off.
the only thing is, like, I already have the proof I need. So.
You know what I would really like to do in the world? I'd really like to have a name for this, but a dad bot. I'd love to have a dad bot that just runs around telling, and you can say, hey dad bot, tell me jokes. Dad bot, I want some dad jokes. And then there's just all the worst jokes you can possibly imagine. I don't know what happens when you have children. Maybe Alex Rane has had this experience too. As soon as you have a child, you know, and this is recent for you still, right? Like what, 4 years you've been in this game?
It's going to be 5 years now.
In
like in a week or so.
Did you notice when you just suddenly started telling dad jokes out of nowhere? Like,
yeah, I mean,
this will happen to you too, people in the chat. You will become a mother or father or something in between, a daughter.
Yeah.
And you'll start telling lame jokes. It just happens.
It's funny because, yeah, it's just one of those cliche things that's true, you know.
Uh-huh.
Whoa, this is looking pretty cool. I would wear a shirt like this. Okay. Tell lame jokes now. Well, you can't force it. You got to be an opportunist. That's the thing.
You just gotta let it come out. It's like when you eat too many beans, the dad joke just comes out.
Yeah, there it is. All right. That's the shirt.
No.
That's the
shirt. No, it's not.
Okay, sorry. Okay, next. Your creative Twitch submissions. Yay!
Awesome. Let's get into it.
Check out some art. Let's check out some art.
Okay,
shall we?
Let's do it, everybody. Let's do a different track. Here we go. We're on the art train, everybody.
Art train, choo choo.
Okay. Nina's Wormhole Theory. Some ideas behind the Wormhole Theory. Click here. Something I'm a big fan of. Oh boy, there's a Wormhole Theory? Oh, is this like the early bird gets the wormhole? Ha ha ha. Let's read this. Captain Clockwalker can open a wormhole through a pocket watch. By opening the pocket watch up and tossing it, it turns into a large clock with some gears. He uses his wings as clock's hands, and by turning clockwise, it can open a portal further in time. The counterclockwise back in time. Oh, and counterclockwise back in time, sorry. Two beams aim into the sky and open up a hole. The wormhole is what? I had a few ideas for the wormhole. One is it opens up alternative universes timelines of Party Parrot. All timelines are created on what if questions. Another idea is because the island is so element-based, the portal leads to a dark version of the world, as if the world is based on the light element currently. This one is a little harder for me to grasp. Here's a complimentary picture grab on the doc PC I need because I need to copy it and save it. Time for crab. You know what? I'm really, really stoked about like multiverse and wormhole ideas because like I was the person in high school that's just like, did you know that there's actually scientifically proven to be 11 dimensions and like I was talking about, and now like it's becoming mainstream with like the MCU and Doctor Strange and like the new Spider-Man movie multiverse. So these ideas are coming mainstream. So
Spider-Verse is so good.
Yeah, so cool. So now we can actually like, it's feasible to have like a wormhole multiverse storyline in a children's property, which is like,
well, and you're also picking up on where we want to go anyways. So that's totally the spirit of this, like alternate dimensions. I think it's just way more fun because it just opens it up to be like, hey, what if we had like interconnected lores across different ideas, like what you knew was there was always there. Yeah, it's just way too fun.
Yeah. And it's true, and it's real.
Yeah,
you know,
cool.
There's no such thing as fiction. It's all just documentaries about the future. Okay, Pet Sprout, succulent.
This is so awesome. I am so bummed because I wanted to spend some time painting some rocks and plants this week, but I didn't get there.
I didn't do it either.
It's been a brutal week. I'm sorry.
I have this.
I hope you guys have had a.
If that counts.
Oh wow, that's cool. Like, is it an artificial hole or was it naturally formed?
Naturally formed.
Wow, that's awesome.
I picked this up in Haida Gwaii, and I think it made me cursed for a little while until I appeased the spirits. You're not supposed to do that. But I got some permission from a shaman. Long story. Okay, a little succulent friend complains it isn't getting enough sunlight.
So cute.
Midnight sighs. Remind her little plant buddy that it's winter and she can't control the sun. This is amazing. I love the eyes in there. That's so cool. Wow. Congratulations, Midnight Aurora. You made me feel happy on the inside. I love it. Okay.
That's awesome.
Next.
That's pretty cool.
And Nina.
Very cool.
There we go. Here's a chat. I love that plant. Oh my goodness. Okay. Pet Rocks by Midnight Aurora. Wow.
So cute.
Dude.
I love this. I want to see more pet rocks. Like, just so into this.
What the heck? This is
so
amazing.
Cute.
Dude, I love this.
See, that's what I want on a shirt. I don't want my face. I want that.
No. This is what I want on a shirt.
Oh, no.
Is this.
No.
There we go. Sorry. Okay. Just every time you mention it, you know I'm gonna do something. Okay. But this is all awesome. I love this one too. I love like the weirdness here. I love this. Just like just doing one of these.
Is in like the sort of sassy expression.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm an amethyst. I like. Oh, whoops! Didn't mean to delete that. And then here, look at these two friends. Look at these guys, huh? They're pals. And the succulent's just like...
Succulent's like,
I don't know about you. And then the rock is just like, I'm immortal. Haha. I'll never die. Okay.
What's that? You need soil and sun and water? Well, I guess technically some of those plants may not. They may be more hardy. But those rocks are going to outlive them, let's face it.
Yeah. Pet Rock, an epic snail by Tech70. Oh! Wait, these are rocks in a formation. Oh, is this like one of those meditation sand things that you just like rake and stuff? That's cool. I want to get one of those. Except for I have small children, and then inevitably it's just going to be a sand mess that I have to vacuum up. That's the only problem, but that looks pretty cool.
It was in an art exhibition. It's awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, one of my I watched a really great show on the BBC with an art historian, Dr. James Fox. It was all about the art of Japan, and yeah, he did this really great piece where he, like an art critic actually, or an art historian, they'll pick apart the methodology, the context, the history of something. And it was really fascinating because they talked about these gardens and how they're supposed to represent islands in the sea. Yeah, it's really quite cool.
Cool.
When you know more about that sort of the Japanese Zen garden thing.
I want to know more, because anything like that, which is just like it's like, oh, just pause and reflect on and spend, like, live in the moment here and just experience this. It's like a sensory experience too. Awesome. Okay. Hold
I'm stoked about this.
on, I just have to put out a fire. Okay. Here we go. Your creative igloos. Baby Cryers Museum. This is the best igloo I've made in the game. One of my masterpieces. Wow. When I saw this as just like the thumbnail over here, like on the side here, I thought this was like 6 igloos all put next to each other.
Well, it almost like looks like it, which is really cool. Like, so it's what I quite like about it. It's like, I like that it's using the frames like sections. Like, Baby Crier has great experience with, building. I mean, we always intended, like, I was talking to Lance about this on Wednesday. It's like, it was initially inspired by sticker books. And so seeing how people took igloos like as just a sticker book system and then like turned it into this, it's just so cool. Like, because it shows that, you can be creative with very weird constraints,
Yeah, I mean, that's what made igloos so awesome. And I kind of like that it's like a bit janky too. Like, it wasn't perfect. You didn't get the full satisfaction of...
You mean the igloo system?
Yeah. I mean, maybe that's just like for the same reason why you like VHS, or why people like, it's like a nostalgia factor. But I like weird parameters, because like I feel like that's how I'm creative. I mean, I'm sure some of you guys can relate to this, but when you have these weird parameters that force you into hacking them a little bit to get your vision out, right? Like, I remember I used Adobe Premiere in such an unconventional way before I learned After Effects. So like, if you like, my Adobe Premiere projects were just so crazy, and then I discovered After Effects, and then that taught me how to use After Effects in like a different way. So there's actually like an interesting study I read up on like hacking, like people's actually, especially kids, actually really enjoy hacking tool sets. Like, they love hacking. Like, it's like a whole part of the play feature, so you can intentionally design things with
like Minecraft is like that.
Yeah, but totally.
Minecraft is very much like it's create, destroy. In fact, the loop is super fast. It's like it's binary. It's one block, and you create it or you destroy it. It's like, so you move through that game loop really, really, really fast over and over and over again.
Sorry, if you're hearing my team's notifications, I can't shut it off, but a fire was just lit.
Microsoft Teams
to just deal with on the side. So don't mind me. Let's keep moving. Sicilium's Sea Resort Restaurant. This is awesome. It's great. This was when did they take away the igloo itself? Like, when did they where it was just that was
with the light system. That was that launch that we filmed. Because awesome. we stayed up overnight. Again, I kind of mentioned this in the previous stream, but or maybe somewhere else. But the night that we launched, like during the time when Likes launched for igloos, that was a time when the infrastructure was quite brittle. So we'd have to stay up. Actually, a lot of times we'd have the production team staying up overnight into the next morning, and then the next team would come in as the other team was up all night on conference calls, making sure everything was up. It was problematic at that time, and so we knew that Igloo Like was going to be like the ability for others to like igloos and to have no igloo with a bigger canvas was going to be a big deal, and saved igloos. All those three things launched at the same time. We knew that that was going to be a pretty substantial launch. So we're like, if there's a launch, we should film with the chaos of the being on a conference call. It's broken. What do we do? Oh no, we saw this bug on Sarah April's blog. Turn it down, take it down, swap the files. We're like, we need to film that. And so we did. And that my hope is that we can do the documentary, even selfishly, just to like finally actually share that story, because it's just such a moment in history now. Like, that was now almost 10 years ago.
I haven't even looked at the footage.
2012.
I haven't even looked at that footage. I just like took it and it was just sat. So.
Yeah, one sweet day, hopefully we can actually get the documentary out the door, but yeah, we're just nowhere there yet. And also, like, we're doing this stuff it's actually just more interesting to me, to be honest, making new worlds.
It's just like the fractal idea, right? Everything is connected. There's no, like, everything is, it's just a branch off of a different idea or a different piece of work. So, like,
it's kind of like when you listen to, like, John Lennon or Paul McCartney's solo, it's still Beatles.
Yeah.
Like,
but just a little bit. And it's interesting because you can't, like, they can say, this is a solo project, but like all of the Beatles together for that period making those records, like that fusion basically gave them their songwriting ability to do their solo project in the first place. So as far as I see it, it's like all the invisible boundaries are just made up basically in the world. I like to see it as like
it's humans making up rules for no reason, really.
Yeah. A good way to look at it that's just more like practical is like the food that we eat. You know how they say like you are what you eat? It's like it's very true, because like you know, the food gets produced from the environment, and then you put that through your body, and then you have the nutrients to grow new cells from that. It seems so obvious, but we don't really think about it that way. That's why like the healthiest way is to not eat processed foods, to get like the direct link to the earth. That's like because your body can like use those nutrients a lot better. So like things like chips, pop, anything that's been like going through like
process,
anything that's in the way of you and nature being like in your body is going to be degrading the quality a little bit. Even like including like transporting fruit and vegetables from like Mexico or something. It's going to have less nutrients than from you getting it directly from the ground and putting it in your body. So
like I'm drinking, as you're talking about this, I'm drinking kombucha, but it would be better for me if I could drink the like straight from the source, make my own kombucha, because you could.
It's not that hard,
and it's naturally carbonated. You just need the mother brain yeast.
Yeah. Remember when we got into kombucha big time? And then I got Lane into it, and then he got a mini fridge installed in his office, and it was always because like it was all
they have that at a lot of the startups in San Francisco. Like when I went to the Medium, like to the Medium studio, it's actually quite a cool studio. Like it's right downtown center. It's like in that building that's triangular that juts out into the street. But they had kombucha on tap. Like it was like keggers. Like you walk into the kitchen and they had kombucha. You just pour it from the kegger, and then they had a giant light bright wall. Like it's well-funded startups. They just spend it's way too much money. Anyways, whatever.
All right, let's move on. We got a lot of slides here. We're only on 11. Okay, Sicilian Sea. Oh, here's a description. Sicilian Sea Resort Restaurant description: a sea resort restaurant where you can watch the sunset and sunrise depending on if you are a parrot or a moosey, with a reception or with a recent promotion. I like the room because it's simple and has a lot of room for growth. Plus, without me even realizing at the time, has aspects of both Mooseland and Party Parrot, with its crystal rocks and accompanying flowers. I feel it may fit the parrot setting more due to the ninja aspect, but I'm not fully sure, as we have no concept design of the ninja aesthetic. I think that's awesome. Yeah, I think that I love stuff like that.
You can imagine the mood. Yeah. It's a vibe. You know, I that's what I'm kind of hoping for from an art direction perspective, is that with, at least in Parrot, I don't know what you're doing with Mooseland, but I'm hoping that we create vibes, like just this kind of, it's a space that you want to hang out in. You know, if you were in the real world, you would enjoy that mood of being in that space. And it's got an audio mood. It's got sort of a warmth to it.
That's awesome.
That's why I like sort of sunrise, sunset. I mean, that's the best time to see a band or a DJ or anything. It's like you go to an outdoor concert and it's at sunset. It's just chef's kiss. Perfect.
I
mood.
saw Beck in an outdoor venue. That was the best show of my life. It was crazy. Sunset and it's Beck, so it's gonna be the best show. Okay,
that's awesome.
Next, Dragonette's bookstore. This one is really cool. I love the use of this, the poster with the city. I think this is amazing. This is my backup entry when I participated in the Igloo Challenge on Twitter. Man, this is so cool. I love the idea of just like seeing how this can connect into the stuff that we're working on. Uh-oh.
Yeah, like make like inspiring like new rooms from what people created. It's just like everything's a remix.
Everything is a remix. Every single thing. And I love that we're just like calling it out and we're just going for it and trying to stay as like above board as we possibly can while doing this, so that this can actually happen and not get, we want original. That's the focus. And that's what I love. I think Igloos is really, really good because we're not necessarily taking from the Penguin IP, but we're taking from the community's like creative work within the IP, within the creations, which is super awesome. And I think, makes me really happy. Glean's Pirate Cove Harbor effectively converts the Mermaid Cove into a sort of pirate cove harbor. I really love the watchtower with floating rope bridge design, feel elevated above the other parts of the igloo. Yeah, this is intense. It still blows my mind what y'all did with these igloos. It's like
this is one of my least favorite igloos. Like the background that this is using. This turns that igloo into something awesome. Because like the original is kind of this weird, like I don't.
You're talking about like the igloo template, like the
whale.
Not the igloo design. Yeah,
exactly. I'm talking. The design is incredible. Like I love this. This is a great mood. It's that weird. I think it's like a whale or something. I don't know. It has some elements in it that are kind of cool in that original art, but this is way cooler than the art. The art was kind of I don't know. Whereas this is awesome.
And I can tell this one took a lot of time.
Effort. Yeah. Absolutely.
And that's what people don't understand about like, and this was like, again, when Club Penguin was shut.
Actually using the game to build something, you get to know how time consuming this would be to create. Show respect, people.
And also like, I remember when like Club Penguin was shut down. I think it was, what year was that?
2017.
Yeah,
it was 5 years ago. So I think we're approaching the 5-year anniversary of that Classic.
I was working at the Vancouver Aquarium with Nicole at the time, who was the executive. He was like at the time, way back in Club Penguin days, she was
the executive producer.
The executive producer, and I remember we both were just like horrified because we knew that like all of those igloos are going to be lost. It's like like people don't realize like it's not just a game. It's like people were investing their lives into this, like their creative energy. It's not just like, oh yeah, it's just like a toy that you can sell at the like whatever.
Oh, apparently it is.
Yeah, it's like a garage sale thing, or it's like not even. It's like it bums me out because igloos are so precious that it's like something that you can like hand off to your younger sibling when or something, like because if you're too old to play it, like it has like real value to it. So even me, like when the office igloo was gone, I was just like I had to like not think about it because it just got me too worked up emotionally. So part of what's inspiring us to do this actually, because it's super meaningful. Stop reminding me I'm not a teen anymore. Well,
you're not a teen anymore.
You're not a teen anymore.
And neither am I.
Neither am I. Although I don't feel like a teenager more than I feel like a 8-year-old. I think like I feel more comfortable identifying as an 8-year-old than a teenager because teenagers are just like I felt like as a teenager my clothes never fit right. It's like you're just like I don't know, awkward. That's just me though. Mariah,
I like to pre-hormone days of like, just being a kid.
Yeah, you're not as self-aware. You're just like you're more express. It's like that creative infancy. It's like I look back. It's like, oh shoot, like ideas flowed way faster when you don't second guess yourself. And then it's like the coming of age thing when you have to like reset that mindset of just being like, oh shoot, now that I'm self-aware, I have like 10 years until I can get back to that. So it's like, yeah. Okay, next. Mariah 11252's art gallery. This art gallery igloo design made by myself is for artists and art lovers alike. If it inspires a real room, maybe people can submit their fan art, which could be featured inside the gallery for all players to admire.
Yes, please. Absolutely. Deal.
Just you wait. Deal.
You have a deal. We'll make a space for it.
We'll make a space for it. There's tricks that right now the biggest trick with fan art, on a children's platform is like moderation and approval. So we're trying to come up with ways that we can make it a more real-time experience. So like
basically we'd have to wade through hours and hours of junk submissions or people trying to like submit whatever they can, and then we'd have to wade through all the garbage to find these amazing gems that people worked on really, really hard. Yeah.
Wait, did I read Maria as Mariah? I don't know the difference.
There's an H. That's the difference. That's Maria.
So it's Maria versus Mariah. Yeah. Way to go, Moose. You blew it.
It's awesome.
All right, let's pick up the momentum here. Here we go. Verde Sal's Bora Bora Resort. Wait, hold on. I feel like I blew past this too quick. Awesome. I love it. Again, another example of using that city skyline. Just like brilliant. It's remixing. It's awesome. Verde Sal's Bora Bora Resort. This is my Bora Bora Resort igloo based on the real life location. That's cool, man. Inspired by like real locations that you've actually been to is like another way of like letting the vibe guide the design. As a room, this would make for a great hangout spot with features like overwater bungalows, swim up juice bar, floaties, and hammock. Hope you like it. I do like it. Yeah, I love it, in fact. Right on, you guys. Yeah, it's just so cool because igloos and doing these igloos design is just like for a lot of people, I mean, maybe you can back me up on this, guys, but it's like it could be one of your first experiences of remixing things and being creative and playing around with composition, because the tools are so like, it's like that sticker book idea, and it's much more immersive, and there's more at stake, because not only is it just like a piece of art you're making, it's also a place to hang out with your friends, which is really cool. So that's like the special sauce of igloos that I've always loved. It's not just you're doing like a whole bunch of things that's like inspired by motivation to grow a community and to role play further. So that's why it's really special. Cool. Polo, Cecilia, I used to snip penguins from the mini games in funny places. What does that mean? What? Like you used to like print them out and cut them out with scissors?
I don't know if you're saying snip is in screenshot.
Oh, maybe snip. Is that like? Yeah.
Well, because there's snipping tool. That's just Windows. I'm on Mac. You're on Windows. You should get this snipping tool. Is that what we're talking about?
I just think about.
Clarify for us.
Whenever I hear the word snip, I think of like little child scissors, like. Yeah, but snipping. So yeah, snipping tool. That's cool. Igloos are probably the reason I love Animal Crossing's Happy Home Designer and Happy Home Paradise. Absolutely. Okay. Official work by the team. Awesome. Let's do this. Midnight Auroras. Oh, wait.
Let's check out some art.
So we got some final element gems, which is awesome. Thank you, Midnight, for working on this.
Are these final?
Yep.
Wow. That's awesome. These are, again, I can't emphasize this enough. I just love the and we have it documented too in these conversations. I love the conclusion that we came to with like the shape within the icon. I think that's awesome. It's like one of those compromises that's just so cool. I have a visitor. Hi, buddy. Hold on a second. Here, Polo, you take the reins for a second.
Okay, you want to go to the next slide?
Yeah. Hold on a second here.
Oh. He's disappeared. How's everybody doing in the chat? I'll see if I can actually like read the chat from there. I'm you can hear Moose parenting in the background as we're working on this. So this is awesome. Thank you, Emine. I didn't really want to add more to-dos to your plate. So hopefully this wasn't a huge heavy lift extra ask on you. Thank you for being so awesome and doing this. So basically what we were talking about was that in some of the interface mock-ups that we're working on right now, we want to, like, remember in Penguin you would have an icon per avatar item. So we were talking about that, and it's like, well, what if we could dual purpose these into like basically using the items that are kind of like almost like stickers. Like you could use them in WhatsApp, you could use them in whatever, and then they stand out. If you've got a busy background, they can still pop off the background a little bit more. You can clearly see the things. And over on the right, you see these are like the icons for the colors. So when you're switching your parrot color, we've now got an icon that's like a paint splash for each one, is what we're thinking right now. So yeah, anyways, the cool thing about this is like basically each of the items in a way kind of could be used almost like a pin if we wanted to. We could actually make a pin version, like, because we've done the art. I'm a big fan of do work one time that can serve multiple purposes, right? So imagine that, you know, you could have the actual avatar item, and then this is just an interface icon that, you know, tells you that it's that item. You could also use these in Discord, as we've done with a few of these, not all of them yet. I think eventually I'll probably get more of the stickers over into the Discord for us. But basically also then the idea of like, hey, maybe I didn't originally have it in our plans, but like the idea of pins has come up as important to people apparently. So maybe you can tell me about your relationship with pins when you were playing Penguin when you were a kid. I always thought pins, I was like, yeah, like, I don't know. I guess because it's just such a, air quotes, like cheap content. And I don't mean that to be dismissive. I just mean when you're doing production, like they're, you know, it's not a huge scope project to be like, okay, in this room, trigger that this item is there. If someone walks up to it, then they can add it to their inventory. Like it's kind of cheap content. But what's interesting about it is that it's kind of fun, and there was a sweet spot to the size of the pins too. Like when the team was like, oh no, I'm looking at the stats and I'm not seeing enough people getting the pins, we need to make sure they're massive so that everyone can see them. And then it was like, okay, well, that just kind of killed the fun, because the fun was that they were kind of hidden, but they're not so hidden. Like when they first launched, the team made them in a way that was like maybe too hidden. Just like they didn't have an outline, there was no like sort of differentiation from the background, so it could have just been any random object in any room could have been a pin, which could be maddening if you've got like every single table in every restaurant and cafe and the nightclub speaker. Like there's just, the possibilities mathematically are too much. So yeah, there's that's kind of the one extreme was like, yeah, I can't find the pin to save your life, and then the other one is like, you couldn't miss the pin if you tried. It's so massive; it's 10 times the size of the penguin itself. So you don't, you know, there's a sweet spot for pins. The more you make them pop, I think that means that they're going to be more visible. So that means we could probably play with the size of them and where they are in the world as we build out the worlds. So yeah, random question, but why was the first pin a 4-leaf clover? I don't know. I think it might have been the time. If I remember correctly, I'd have to pull up. Like again, I outsource my memory to documents, which is why sometimes when folks like Riboflavin are like, hey, what about this lore question? I don't know off the top of my head, because, you know, when I was managing story with the team, we would just throw everything into a wiki. So eventually it was like, or in someone's brain. You have something in Cody's brain, or something in some other writer's brain, or a room artist's brain. So there's a lot of tribal knowledge, and there's a lot of knowledge just on wikis that are randomly internally now. So that knowledge has gone off to die. But if I remember correctly, the Clover was one of the first ones because of the timing, because I think it was really close to St. Patrick's Day. 2006, if I recall correctly, is when Screenhog started. I think Screenhog started the pin path that we kept going on forever. Like, it's kind of like these systems that Lance and Chris started that we just kept doing until the end.
I thought,
even after I left,
started was the first person ever hired by Rocket.
Yeah, he was the first employee. Yeah.
Wouldn't that be 2005 then?
Yep. No, I just mean like some of the stuff they did during those times. It set the precedent, and we followed it till the end. So, man, 10 years of following that precedent, which is fascinating.
I'm holding out hope that somebody had like a high 8 tape or like a little video camera, and they're just videoing without remembering it, and then they're gonna show up like, hey, I have all that on camera. I didn't realize.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Have these mini DV tapes that are gold.
Well, there are some mini DV tapes of brainstorms they have in the studio that I would love to make sure we get someone to archive somewhere. And I know that Screenhog took some footage in the previous building. So he actually walked around the studio before we moved. So he was in Landmark 5. Remember, we moved from 5 to 4, yeah. I think, right?
Yeah.
So in Landmark 5, before we moved into 4, he walked around all the spaces in the studio.
Oh, that's cool.
So he walked up the stairwell. So he's got some footage himself just of walking around. So there's little awesome. Kind of archival moments like that at the time are just like, oh yeah, it's the studio. You just wouldn't think much of it. You'd be like, oh yeah, look, you're walking around a space. Whoop-de-doo. Like, you wouldn't, and now you kind of time passes and you're like, oh, I guess that's kind of a moment in it's a time capsule.
Mm-hmm. All right, I didn't go on a hike. Sorry, my kid needed me. My son needed his dad.
Parenthood.
I needed to be a dad for a second, okay?
Yeah, Dad.
Okay, next on the docket, we still got lots and lots of slides to go through.
Slides.
Imai's parrot avatars.
Here's some featured new parrot avatars, and now Imai is going to be focusing on moose. So
there are lots of
moose conditions to get through. Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
It's
and I love that. I love Dreams avatar. I love Midnight's. It's good to see some of these
what do you got
keep
for us,
popping
Polo?
up. I know it's. I still haven't got over my fascination with it all unfolding. It's kind of nice to see all these pieces slowly.
It's pretty surreal.
It's like it almost feels a little bit like we're like an advent calendar or something. It's like, yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, here's this behind this door. And then, oh, okay, we're going to unfold this. And, oh, there's another door. Oh, we'll open up that door and then this door. And, and there's another door. Yeah. Oh, no. No.
Yeah, we should. No. There's some moosey things that we could show here. Here you go. There's some really cool moose.
Oh, no.
Hold on here. I just wanted to share some because Imai's also been doing some moose.
Would you look at that?
Update.
It's time for the Moose Land update. Are you ready?
Here that I would
Let's
love
go.
To share. Imai, you're just killing it with all these designs. Oh, wait, there's no. Okay, this is a new one. I want to talk a little bit about this design. So this is Dream. Dream, are you on the stream? Are you on the stream, Dream? Have you seen this yet? This was
awesome.
This was tricky here because we had to figure out how to get these earmuffs to work. It was really tricky because the earlier designs, they were behind the it just didn't make sense, and we were just like, well, they'll just have the earmuffs that kind of go behind the head, but then that leaves out the potential for like headphone items. So yeah, this was Imai kind of I worked through this, and I think it works. I don't know. Do you guys have any suggestions of how the earmuffs? It's still tricky with the perspective of the head and the antlers. So, but I think this is pretty good. But yeah, the purple suit is just wicked. I love it. I think it's so cool. I wanted the ears to be up. Oh, yeah. I love it. I think it works to make the headphones make sense. Oh, yeah. I see. We'll just have to experiment with it. I wonder if there's any headphone item requests coming down the pike, because that'll be a cool item. I'd love to see.
I don't know. We can figure it out.
All right, next.
Again, maybe it's on day 24 of the Advent calendar.
Day 24 of the Advent calendar, absolutely. Okay, next on the docket. Dialga 222239's version 2 work in progress for Dance Game's main theme song, Kakapo Dancin'. Listen to it on the next slide. Oh boy. Everybody get ready to dance, because this is a killer track. So let's get into it. What BPM is this? 100? This bops.
Slap it.
Ooh, yeah. Killing it on that music track. Heck yeah, love it. Way to go. I don't know if it's you or if this is intentional, but I'm picking up some serious DJ3K vibes on this track. No, I'm
I think it gives me that Friday night funk feeling.
Mm-hmm. What was that game? What was that remix game? That in Club
DJ3K or the later one, Sound Studio?
I like the old one.
Ooh, burn.
I don't know. It's just nostalgic, but it's like better, but it still has like snippets of that kind of like awesome vibe, which we all love. That nostalgia's in there. Awesome. Can someone submit a dance outfit items to the same parrot request form? Yeah, do that.
Yeah, go for it. More. I'd love to see a whole bunch of different dance outfit ideas. Mm-hmm. You know, it's funny because Sound Studio is like, it functionally was a better app, but it's just because it's just a bunch of buttons with pictures on them, it's just less compelling. Even though like it is superior to DJ3K, but it lost the persona. Mm-hmm. Like in DJ3K, you do stuff and then there was a character responding to you. That felt more interesting than Sound Studio pushing buttons, even though Sound Studio you could do a lot more. Like my amazing fart orchestras that I would force everyone to listen to in the nightclub. Awesome. Loved it.
I'm just looking at pictures. Oh yeah. I just didn't. Was this after my time? When did Sound Studio come out?
It was right around the time I think you were about to leave and go to Hippo.
Because I'm looking up images of like the Sound Studio right now, and it's like I don't remember this. I just remember this.
That's DJ3K.
Yeah, but then
below
this is
it
Sound
is Sound
Studio.
the app. Like
I
in
just
terms
love
of personality,
this so much, man.
Look at the personality compared to of the two, right? Like it would have been better just to make the DJ. I don't know, whatever. Hindsight is 2020. Wasn't my decision, I'll tell you that. But at least the audio was mixed better in Sound Studio. It sounded way better, but you lost all the personality. Look at that personality.
It's sweet, man. I just love, and I love janky stuff. Again, that's like all about the remix meme culture stuff. Is like, it's not like, this isn't an actual like sound remixing studio. It's like a game in itself. Like I would love to make some janky things on purpose and almost like create opportunity for things to break so that it can be used with a different application. You know, I just love that kind of stuff. It's like make it more remix instead of like an actual sound tool. Although I haven't really played this. Hey, we got a follower.
Thanks for the follow. Hey, word up. You're awesome. Thank you
was
for
that?
following us. Thank you for
you.
following the two dads.
Two
Two dads
dads.
trying to feature the community.
Yeah.
Going back to best dad.
This is what
This guy.
Yeah, this guy. Awesome. Here, I'm just gonna do this, just to share. I'm just gonna do this. See?
Ah, so nice.
But just sharing the love. Here.
Actually, that's a fun fact. I actually have something that's pretty dusty. Here, I'll do this. This is from my daughter when. Oh man, you can't even see it because of the glare. Okay, wait. I'll take it out of the glare and then I'll show you. Ugh.
Oh no! Don't break it.
This is from the book Santa Puffle
Wow.
by my kid when she was like 6, and she was so pleased because I was working at Penguin, so she was drawing puffles and stuff. And so it said, "Best dad in the world."
Wow.
So that's what I've got is Santa Puffle saying "Best dad in the world."
Wow, that's
There you go.
awesome.
So I've kept it ever since because she's done like this whole big story with all
Wow.
these. It's just fun. I love kid stories. So
That's amazing. We should. What are we doing making Moose and Polo? We should just make a world called Dadland. Which is a bunch of dads, and then the tagline would be "There's a dad in everyone." Okay.
yeah, I like it.
Text blooper. Oh boy, here we go. Episode 2. Okay, get ready for some
Can I go to the
content, everybody.
washroom? I'll go to the washroom. I'll be right back. Sorry,
Yes.
I really have to pee because
you really have to pee
I
at
drank
this
like
very
all this
moment.
coffee and kombucha. Yeah, what?
How convenient.
How
You leave
convenient.
during like the best piece of content. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna review this. This is gonna be an official React content. All right, this is great. How long is this one? 3.5 minutes.
A lot of people
Okay.
compared it to me being underwater.
Underwater. Oh, that charming UK accent. Your accent's very charming.
Thank you.
Underwater.
Underwater.
Okay.
Underwater.
Water.
We're talking
Water.
about water.
What? Water? Like that?
The
Like
waterfall. Water.
the way you say the WA? Water.
Water. Water.
Water.
Water.
Whoa! Hold on. We have to watch it over. We have to start again. We have to start over. Okay. One more time. Yeah, let's skip ahead a little bit.
Microphone too.
A lot of
The water.
water. Water.
What? Water? Like that? Like the way you say the WA? Water.
Water.
Water. Water. Water.
Wait,
Water.
Water is like super American.
was
It
that Imai just
is.
saying water?
Where it is.
That's crazy. It doesn't even sound like it.
Bless you. Is that a sneeze?
That was a cough.
Oh, okay.
Why do
Sometimes I
people?
cannot tell the difference.
Why do people mistaken my coughs for sneezes?
Good
It's
point.
like
know,
it's like a
it
thing
sounded-
that happens.
Oh, I don't know. It sounded very forceful.
Tech made another Discord mistake.
If
Okay.
it makes you feel any better, I probably would have made the same mistake because I never use any Discord functions except for here.
There's Midnight.
Just get the downloaded version. Come, dude.
No, it's
Just
just
get
a
the
habit for
downloaded
me to
version.
use my browser, and I just. I don't know.
Wait, are you using the
I
browser
also
version of
use the
Discord?
browser version when I'm not on my phone.
That's why you're in
Discord
noob
keeps
territory.
you right.
You gotta move off that
Alright,
browser
I
tab.
guess-
I think what we have is.
I
very
guess we
robust.
can conclude the meeting.
You can cacapo.
You can
on
cacapo.
the meeting.
Yeah, we can cacapo the meeting. Alright.
That's
Wait,
gonna
let me
be
see.
our official.
I am stopping the
That's what it-
recording in 3, 2, 1.
Breakfast Club training video chopsticks. Okay. Midnight needs a penguin. Get on it, you might. Not a penguin, a parrot. Sorry. Dude, what? video. This video became about how to use chopsticks? Oh. Amazing. Five-star chef. Okay, yeah. Wow. What? What? Amazing. Student practice, my midnight. Okay. Video credits. Tech 70 blooper video editor, Discord noob, Yaga song composer, 5-star chef, Imai meeting recorder, disappointed Kakapo, dance game team. Eventually, we're gonna get into some dance game production, right? I mean, it seems like you guys have made a lot of real progress in the game. You know, it seems like there's, you know, as soon as you get that stream sorted, as soon as you get everything, it looks like it's going to be a cool game. I don't know about you. What do you guys think? Would you think it'd be really funny if the game just basically becomes, if like the game is just about how to set up a stream and how to use chopsticks properly? It'd be so confusing for people that are just coming into it. Just like, oh, like, oh, I love dance games. I love it. And then you go in there and then it's just like it's a game where you have to set up a stream properly and it never works. And then it moves over into just like a chopsticks demonstration. That's my kind of game. That's meta. I really hope this becomes like a full documentary series, and then we go into some manufactured drama or something. I think in the next video, in the next dancer bloopers, I want to get some I want to see some connected narratives here. That's my challenge to you guys. So while you're making the game project, making these bloopers videos, let's get some let's build some lore. Let's build some dance game project bloopers lore that we can continue and grow, and you manufacture some drama. I think that'd be pretty cool. So great video. Love it. Okay, we need some segues here. Hold on. I love content. Content is my favorite thing. Any type of content. Yeah, come on, let's do it. Yeah, content. Here we go. There it is. That's the stuff. Look at these guys. Look at this guy. What the heck? Oh my gosh. At least it's on grass. Segways are weird because it's like they are attacking you, like when they fall and it just comes back at you and rolls you over. It's kind of kicks you when you're down. Look at this guy. It's like trying to eat him alive. It's crazy. I think that in the future when the robots take over and start trying to devour us and put us into the Matrix, we're going to know that the first of them are segways. We should know this. That we should burn all segways. Or, buy a Segway. Everybody should get a Segway. I don't know. One or the other. Segway drama is beautiful.
$25.99.
Yeah.
It's 10.15.
10.15. Segway drama is beautiful. We just saw some amazing. You just missed the best part of the stream.
Did I?
Yeah, unfortunately, it was pretty beautiful.
I'm sorry. I just, the thing about becoming a dad is magically, you have to go to the bathroom more often. Too much information.
Yeah, too much TMI. And it's it's magic. So I always wondered how, the body works, and turns out it's just magic. Okay. Cataclysmos Poly 001 and Cecilium are helping
Our
Pixel
awesome
Guy
segues.
with a moose documentary script. Awesome creative collaboration. This is cool. This is going to be really awesome. It's totally like, I'm just imagining this be like,
Imagine what? The segue?
no, the these like little documentaries. It's like what is it called? There's like a whole like Club Penguin series that they made. It was like Club Penguin Apocalypse or something. What was it called? Where like Business Moose is in it. It's like, I love that there's like this kind of culture starting where even before the game is launching, we're using the art assets to kind of create, I don't know, community-led stories. We're talking about like this, what's up? Get out of here. We're talking about this documentary.
I can't see because you got a segue up front.
Oh, I do? Oh, oh, this has been there the whole time.
I was like, what are you talking about? That's what I'm sitting there going like, segue, 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 segue.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, so this is a, get out of here. Get out of here, Polly. Pixel Guy, yeah, there's a documentary script going on. It's like a CCTV style video. Yeah, it's gonna be cool. I'm excited to see what kind of fun little narratives you guys are gonna come up with in world. It's gonna be fun. We're also, it'll happen eventually, but once we get some stuff sorted, we are gonna create official channels for this type of stuff. So it won't be like Pixel Guy posting on the YouTube channel. It'll be more like Pixel Guy collaborating with us on our YouTube channel, so we can kind of like centralize all these awesome videos. And then obviously like give you guys credit and give you guys props to your own work. So yeah, it's gonna be really cool. Okay, Pixel Guy's Moose and Suits message with Cataclysmos suggestion: you have been fired. See, this is an interesting subject because although the whole being banned on Club Penguin is like a fun meta adult meme, and it's like the original meme, it's not something that we really want to lean into very much with this, because like banning is not something we really
can lean into it in the stream, and then
can lean into it.
But in the world we're not going to lean into it.
But the point with this, you've been fired, it makes me think like, how can we make this like gamified so it's like it's safe?
See if we can get the Apprentice license.
Or yeah, but like have it so like we can incorporate ban messages in the world that like it encourages you to like find ways to pull up this message in a safe way. Do you know what I mean? Like if there's a way in Moose and Suits to get fired in a wholesome way that you can like,
I think it's just, there's such an opportunity to make a fun game where it's like some sort of business game, and your job is to get promoted or not. And it's like the thing about the workplace, you know, it's like the HR game.
But then we create that opportunity for a meme where it's just like, you have been fired for unloading the dishwasher wrong. Or just like because like that was the whole meme with the ban thing. It's like, you've been banned for blah. And then if we do like, you've been fired for like a really dumb, unrelated reason. That's like really silly. I think
yes.
I think it could be awesome. Okay. Okay. Here. Let's move to this. Oh, this is Pocket Stuff. Pocket Stuff is so cool. Here. My son is crying in the other room. Hold on. I gotta tend to it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you know, actually, it was super fun about this. Like, this for Chai. Look, I've got my. Oh, you can't see it because I've got. How do I turn off this cam thing? I turned on a funny effect. Change video background. Here I go. Hope you guys are having a good stream. Here is my mug. It's got a squirrel on mushrooms, mushroom toadstool seats. So this my daughters bought me for Christmas. So this is my new mug that I've been using. So I am all about the toadstool seats. I think it's way too fun. And I love, Pocket, you're just so talented. Like, keep drawing. It's awesome to see everyone's creations coming through with this. I'm just trying to see here. It's like, yeah, very jealous of my mug. I don't know where they got it. Anyways, it's a nice one. It's like this portobello by design. See? Yeah, mushrooms. So again with the mushroomism. I also love the fact that it's on a snail. I think it's fun. Like there's just so many opportunities to tell stories with animals. You know, there's something about like personified animals that's just appealing, just creatively appealing to me. I don't know if everyone's like that, but I find it inspirational. It's like it's more inspiring to me to play Dungeons and Dragons as a crow-like creature rather than a human or an elf. Like it's just not quite as interesting to me. Like I'm more into the idea of like, you know, penguins and parrots and frogs and snails and ocelots and all this kind of stuff. Yeah, and there's something about it. It's like wholesome is right. That's what I love about this art, and like Chai's tattoo is like I love the wholesomeness of it, you know. And actually, to be honest, like I think in terms of art direction, that's creatively what we want Parrot to feel like, is a wholesome, musical, food eating, safe place that's kind of like Sunset. So it's got a nice vibe. It's all organic and wood.
Did you say food eating?
Mm-hmm.
That seems like
heck yes.
I just came in here on a different note. What does that mean? I was just like, we just want a wholesome food eating place. I'm like, wait,
yeah.
what? What do you
Lots
mean?
of restaurants, man.
I'm looking like
like food trucks and stuff, which is a great segue.
Wait,
segue.
wait, hold on.
Wait.
Which
forehead.
is a what? Oh my gosh!
Is Dad
Look at
ready?
that!
Segue.
He's trying to get him, dude. Segways. They're gonna be our overlords. Like pretty sure. Maybe in Moose in Suits, the villain is just a Segway. That's what I think. There's got to be it. Okay.
I can't separate Segway from Arrested Development in my head. It's just nothing but Arrested.
Yeah,
Every time it's Segway, I'm like, ah. So I used to do Job impersonations all the time walking around the house. So.
You mean Job?
Yeah, Job.
Oh man, I love it. Okay. Here we go.
Good.
Pockets Kakapo
See?
Parade Room based on community suggestions. Wow. Yeah, I mean, this is insane. And reading on, like, in the introductions. By the way, as a side note, to new community members, we have a really great server called Introduce Yourself. Is that what it's called? Hold on, let me look it up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like Introduce Yourself.
Drop in and tell us about yourself.
Yeah, drop in. So I know Pocket is a new comer to the stream, and they they introduce themselves. Why can't I see it? It's just... Oh, I have to turn on the wall. Yeah, introduce yourself.
You're multitasking.
Yeah,
it's too much multitasking for your brain. It's gonna fall apart. Don't do it.
And so, yeah, they specialize in environment and character design, and they are actually graduated from 2D animation, and moving into 3D animation. So, just another incredibly talented working artist that's joining the community, and we are welcoming you with open arms, and we encourage you, go on the Introduce Yourself server, find some new peeps, and make some friends, and come up with some fun ways to collaborate.
Just create. We'll keep putting your name in lights as much as we can. That's our goal, right?
Yeah.
So
we will, and it's it's a challenging thing to do. There are reasons why this isn't happening for a lot of people, because there's like it takes a lot of time and care to support them without support you guys in this way. So we just want to know that that's like our number one priority, is just like to lift your guys' work up. And
and I have had some conversations with JD, who's basically our art director, and he's just been working on pipeline stuff and stuff like that. But I would like to kind of set up some times where, you know, we can have some art mentorship. So you can he can teach you some things. Like, so he's a Leica guy. So he knows all about traditional animation. He's taught in colleges and whatnot. He's really great guy. And yeah, you haven't seen us take this to the next level quite yet. So it's gonna be cool.
We're just you wait. There's a lot of really cool, exciting stuff to come, and including like guests, right? Like including having really cool guests, and that's just something we need to figure out. And also, we're slow growing, right? We're trying to get to. It'll be a while before we get to each level, but when we do, you know, you can never go back. Okay, let's move on, shall we? Okay, let's do it. Wander's awesome parrot and moose art. This.
I love this too.
This is incredible. This is like blue. This is like I want to get. This is something that I would want to get a tattoo of. like almost exactly this. Like with the squares and everything. Like it's so my style. I just think it's so awesome. It's like it's in the same way like we're with Pocket like taking this like the moose design and like taking their own like spin on it while kind of retaining the like the like character in the universe. This is the same thing. I just love seeing this kind of stuff. It's just so cool.
Let's check out some art, shall we? Let's check out some art.
So
shall
cool.
we?
Thank you, Wander. You're just the best. This is so cool. So cool. Oh boy, this is a new segment. We need to have a different. I need to have a different soundbite.
Oh.
You do.
That was really something.
Okay.
Now
Play
for
some
something
Taz.
completely
Yeah, there we go. Oh, wait, what? Did I mess it? Here we go. I'm just going to play some Taz 1000 for this one. Here we go. Wander, what are your thoughts on pineapple on pizza? I'm not a big ham and pineapple fan, to be honest. But I have had pineapple and pepperoni. Now that is out there, and I liked it. So...
Yeah, I basically will eat it if it is given to me. Yes, I am not in a rush to go buy Hawaiian pizza. In fact, I never buy Hawaiian pizza.
No.
I don't hate it. I just don't. Yeah.
Yeah. Are you talking about that? Like it's
It depends. Is it under the sea?
Yeah. Like that's like a pineapple. Like are we talking about that? No, that's pizza on pineapple. Right? That's kind of cool. I like that. I'll eat that maybe. But yeah. So I would say if it's in front of me and it's free, I'll eat it, but I'm not going to go out of my way to order it. You know, give me like some sort of Greek thing with olives on it and feta cheese. Ooh. And peppers and onions. Now that I can eat and digest.
I grew accustomed to going to Domino's, and my go-to was pepperoni, banana peppers, and green olives. So basically all the salt. So the salt and vinegary things.
Yeah. There's another one. That's just nasty. That's just nasty. Okay, let's move on. Poli001 asks, how many Polo shirts does Polo own?
0, 0, 0.
Wow, no
0.
Polo shirts. Well, that's got to change.
As a joke, I did buy a Polo brand shirt that just says Polo in big letters because I thought it was pretty funny. But yeah, no, I don't actually have any Polo shirts anymore. I used to have one. I had one Polo shirt and I got rid of it. I was not a Polo shirt guy. I'm a musician T-shirt kind of guy.
Yeah, and besides, that's not where even Polo comes from. It comes from like Polo Field. Like,
exactly. It's a Coachella thing, man.
Are you gonna do that? Are you gonna do Polo Field in Kakapo?
Mm-hmm.
Like actually make a Polo? Mm-hmm. You better.
Heck yes.
A missed opportunity. Okay.
Yeah. Any suggestions that the community has for the music festival Polo Field at Sunset? Totally welcome. I mean, I was hoping to make that like the main stage because that's kind of the inspiration is the Coachella main stage. Actually, I don't know if you saw the lineup for Coachella this year just got announced. So Billie Eilish, Harry Styles headlining.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. My kids will be stoked because Conan Gray is playing Coachella. So my 17-year-old will very much want to go to Coachella this year.
Man, it's happening now where it's like all of the headliners are so much younger than me. It's like it used to be like, oh, everybody at the music festivals are like older. Then it's like, oh, I'm the same age. Now it's like they're children on stage. These children millionaires are on stage.
Okay, Dad.
Okay. All right there. Dream, What was life like between working on CP and working on Moose and Suits? And so what was life like between working on Club Penguin and working on Moose and Suits and Party Parrot? What was life like between working on Club Penguin and working on Moose and Suits and Party Parrot? What does that mean?
So you left in 2013,
Yeah.
and now it's 2022. So in the 9 years between those two periods, what was life like?
Oh, okay. I thought it was just like, you know, apples and oranges. What do you like better between apples versus oranges? I used to be apples, but these days I really love oranges.
Which one's apple and which one's orange in this example you've just?
Okay, let's just.
So is Penguin apple and we're orange?
Yeah. You know.
Okay.
I just like it better. It's you know, maybe I'll What was like between? I mean, it was insane, pretty crazy for me. I mean, I don't know. Did we want to go?
You had a child.
I had a child. First I worked at Hyper Hippo. That's when I kind of built a really good relationship with Lance, or AKA Rocket Snail, or R Snail. Moved to Vancouver to follow my dreams. Just got started making music videos. Ended up making like a feature film, which is still in
Some phase of production.
Yeah. Which, by the way, actually, offline, remind me. We need to talk about that because I need a new producer, and we have funding, and I don't have anybody, and I think you would be perfect. So, anyways,
I love music.
Yeah. I just thought about that now, and I'm just like, because I've been thinking like, I need a like a intern producer. I don't know anybody, and then I'm like, wait a second. Who's the person that actually got me into music docs in the first place? Okay. Anyways.
I love my docs.
Don't let me forget that.
Don't forget it.
Okay. And
Never
then,
forget.
you know, after that movie experience, I got talking with R Snail. He hired me to do some stop motion project, and he was a mentor of mine. He helped me move to Vancouver and helped me get my business started because I'm not very business oriented as like a creator. And Lance was just like an incredible mentor to get me, just basically like kick me out of the house and be like, do it. Anything's possible. Just stop looking at barriers. He's good for that, like making things really, 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 really simple. And then it's just like, yeah, you have these ideas, and then all these things kind of happened where Lance and I were just like, we wanted to start doing something together. We weren't sure what it was going to be, but we were talking a lot. And then the person who used to be the executive at producer at Club Penguin got a job at Lego, and I maintained the relationship. And then they were just like, hey, I want to do some work, but I'm like, I can't do that business deal of becoming a vendor. So I talked to Lance and was like, can you make this all happen? And then everything just like this perfect storm landed where it's just like, yeah, Lance, I then got hired to work at Rocket Snail, which then helped doing all this Lego stuff, which then helped me move back to Kelowna. And that's when all of this started. And now it's like there's this, more than you even know, this really cool, well-oiled machine that's like multifaceted, that's like creating some sort of interesting future that has a deep purpose that is you're all a part of. I know that's all over the place, but it's all connected, just like the fractal. And so, yeah, kind of like
I had this eureka moment. By the way, I realized this because I tweeted about it. But you know how you basically started the Moose character when the Moose head was launched in 2008?
Yeah.
So the Moose head was launched because I came up with some dumb stage where I was like, okay, I'm going to do a high school play. It's like High School Musical meets mascots. And so that's when we came up with Team Blues Rally debut. That was 2008, basically February 2008. So, you know, whatever, 14 years ago. I can't math right now. And that was the origin of the Penguin Moose head. And that's when you started on moosing.
Yeah.
And at the same play was also the Migrator mascot. So you dressed up as a ship and a parrot.
No way.
So you think about it, in that same play, there was also the parrot. And
Wait,
then
did
later,
you write
years
that play?
later, yeah.
I did not know that.
And you didn't know that the moose came because I was like, we need to make a moose head. Same thing with the parrot. I was like, we need a parrot head.
So you're
And
responsible for the single best item that Club Penguin has ever done, hands down, without any debate.
I guess if
That
the
is
moose
amazing.
item is your favorite, then yes.
Yeah.
So I wrote this play. It was poorly written. It was terrible.
I loved
didn't
it. I loved it when that came out, and when they had the stage and the plays. Like, this is genius. Like, I just obviously because I made it the whole thing.
I just thought it was funny. I just thought because it was like, hey, what would a penguin dress up as? Well, as a mascot, right? Like in their own fiction, what would exist? So I went looking around the island. I was like, oh, the moose, the Rockhopper. Everyone loves Rockhopper, and he's got a ship. And then he had just brought back the stuffed parrot or something like that. So it was kind of jumping off of the parrot coming from Rockhopper, bringing it on the ship.
It was the
total coincidence. This had not occurred to me until literally when I tweeted it. Like, so when you talk about there's no coincidence, I had no idea until like looking at it and going, oh, hang on. What the heck? I totally did not realize that coincidence existed until literally right now. I mean, it's the same thing. Like, I started the Club Party Parrot thing as a joke because in between Penguin and now, I've been consulting. I started a company when I left Penguin. Mm-hmm. And starting a company is hard, people. Hard. Don't do it unless you've got a product. That's my first thing. I would not start a company to go consult. I don't think it's it's not my favorite. It's just personally, I don't think it's a great business model. But in between then, that was when I was like, so many of my clients would install the Party Parrot animated GIF in their Slack instances. So I'd be in multiple companies and each of them would have like the Party Parrot turned on. And you see everybody with the wobbling Party Parrot head. And that was really just the starting point. It started as a joke. I was like, I'll just buy clubpartyparrot.com. Mm-hmm. I was like, there's just so much stupid stuff we did at Penguin. I want to make fun of it. I just had this eureka that I was like, I want to make fun of all my dumb mistakes. So I started clubpartyparrot.com as a joke, put it up on Blogger as though it was like Sarah April's blog, put it up on, it's just a Blogger site, and I mapped the domain to it. And then I was thinking about it. I was like, well, what if we didn't just make it a joke? What if we actually just made fun of Penguin? Like, what if we actually made a penguin that makes fun of Penguin? I think that'd be pretty funny. So here we are. And now actually we've kind of evolved from it being a parody to, it's being its own thing, which is cool. Mm-hmm. And it's funny that the parade idea came up because I've been thinking about that because I like alliteration. I like the sounds of repeating words like Paw Patrol, Peppa Pig, Moose in Suits. Like, I like repeating sounds. So I've been thinking about Party Parrot, Parrot, Parade. Like, there's just, because I'm still like, I don't want to call it Club Party Parrot. Like, that was always just a joke. I think that, I mean, I love the joke, but does it, I don't know. I'm still on the fence because I'm like, does it belittle all the creation of all the work that you folks are doing on this? Like, all these amazing peeps that are pouring their talent into it. I want you to have the best identity that you're proud of. So that's why it's like, what are you calling it? Party Parrot Party? I'm like, I don't know, whatever. Party Parrot Party. Parrot Parade. Parrot.
The longer we wait, though, on it, the more people are going to be attached to it, and then taking that away. It's one of those weird things where it's just like it transcends a name and it just becomes something that people identify with. Even moving from Mooseland to Moose in Suits is still a bit clunky. I'm just like, Mooseland, it's because like...
Oh, Mooseland can stay its place, Yeah. I love that. It's like, this is Mooseland.
Yeah, totally.
You've got a name for it. And I love the idea that like Kakapo Island can be a potential name for like the place. It doesn't have to be like, we always struggled with that. We didn't have a proper name for the island. We called it the island. It was like this kind of vague back in the Club Penguin universe, right?
So somebody says, Club Parrot says, I still have not adjusted from Mooseland. Yeah, I mean, well, we're still
We'd call
in
it
this
Mooseland.
limbo. We call it Mooseland. Who knows? Mooseland there's some meaningfulness to, whereas like every time I would hang out with the peeps on CP, I would end by going to the lighthouse and flapping my antlers and fly off to Mooseland. So there's like, it's like, no, Mooseland's a real thing. But Moose in Suits is more of like the is like the meat, like of like what's actually happening in Mooseland, because Mooseland is a big vast world, but like Moose and Suits is like the organization within that world. So yeah. Good night, Naomi. Good night, Naomi. I don't know why I have to
Good
say
night,
that.
Spider.
Good night, Spooter. As a side note, I just want to. I really appreciate how Imai is very. Always gets consent before sending pictures of their Spooter, because it's like, yeah, it's like I would never think.
It's so funny how it's so divided, right? Like there's a lot of arachnophobes, so it's a great respect. So mad props.
It's great, and even having like the spoiler is really awesome on there. Okay, I just want to mention this. Two things. You talking about your like the period between Club Penguin and this, what we're working on right now. First off, that just blew my mind that you worked on that play, because I love that play so much. I just think it was like it had the essence of Club Penguin because it was so derpy. You know what I mean? Like it was so like
you get it. You get the intention, right? Like
oh yeah, it was like
the team was so mad at me when I wrote Penguins of Time Forgotten. I made the script nothing but just like random blurps. Like it was just like caveman gibberish, and they were like, "Why are you doing this? Why don't you write something properly?" I'm like, because of how people use the script in the stage. Have you not walked into the stage and seen people are just spamming the script, clicking on buttons? It's way funnier if that first page is just kind of derpy.
Totally.
That, like, you get the meme. It was always a meme, you know?
It's that thing where people designing the game weren't playing the game, because they're just looking at the product being like, well, this needs to be a better story. It's like, well, that's not the point. It's like you like, I love the play with the moose. What's it called? I forget.
Team Blues Rally Debut?
Yeah, I just love it because you can tell that one person wrote it and had a lot of fun writing it, and it encouraged the kids to do the same thing, or the players to do the same thing. So it's not like I want to replay the story because it's so awesome. It's like, this is a ridiculous story. I'm gonna remix this story and all these like random sound like costumes into my own thing. I remember when I loved the moose, but I love that you could be a ship. I thought that was so silly, but also like it was like multi-purpose. Like you were thinking like, I'm gonna set up a play or set up like some play features that I know are the ultimate design is for them to run with and do their own thing, and I'm going to do that myself.
That was the intent.
Do you know what I mean? Like, so it's not like I'm gonna come up with the best entertainment. Like I'm gonna make like a actually good play. It was just like, I'm gonna create these play tools, and then me as a creative, I'm going to use those tools to make something funny.
The script was literally just an excuse for the items. And the items, it was a good opportunity for a place that was unlike anything else that was on the island. Like, you didn't have a good reason to have a ship costume elsewhere or a moose costume elsewhere. So that was the point, was the meme. The point was that it was emergent and that people were supposed to come up with their own role play. Like, that was always the intent. So... Yeah, but, you know, you get that. The team didn't get that. They're like, it's got to be a great story. It's got to be connected to the lore. I'm like, you know, I hate to break it to you, but most people didn't care about the lore. No. Like, you care when it's EPF, because then the story actually matters, because it matters to the game. But if it's like, oh, it rained this week, if that doesn't have a consequence in a game somewhere, who cares?
Yeah.
Because the point of Penguin was to role play. The point of Penguin was not to come up with your own lore so that you can tell your own personal great story. So
yeah, it's a mix between the two, because like I think the stage was like one of those unique things where it's like the point wasn't lore. The point was the community getting together and telling their own stories. Like that was like the purpose of it. So it had this like, that's why I loved it. I loved the theater so much. Like that was like my favorite place to hang out. One of them.
It was a really hard job to work as a writer on Penguin, because if you writer, your desire is to shape and tell your own worlds. That is actually in direct conflict with the players role-playing and being the heroes and emerging with their own narratives. So I always had to tell the writers to stop. we'd cut stuff. Like I'd get shouted at if we wrote too much, like it was because we're putting too much of ourselves in it and not enough of the community. So my orientation is always the community first. The lore is just there to support you. It's kind of like a kindergarten teacher facilitates a bunch of 5 and 6 year olds doing things. It's like, here's an activity. We're all going to paint together. We're going to come up with a story, but it's like a story framework.
Yeah.
And then people are coming up with their own stories within it. So
well, there's multiple play needs there, right? There's people that love following the script and love doing these things, but there's also people that need to come up with their own thing because they don't like to follow the script. So you got to meet multiple, and there's passive viewers that just like to sit in the audience. So it's like that balancing act of how do you do the best thing for everybody and have everybody work together. Okay, let's move on. Nina, 10. That was no wonder we spent so much time here because that's a huge. Oh wait, there's one.
It's
other
a deep
thing.
well.
Oh, another thing is your what was I think is really cool, like looking at what's really significant about what we're doing now, is both of us went off and did and worked on things that are crucial for this collaboration now. It's like
I've learned a lot from a lot of different unlikely sources.
Yeah, and also like even just working with you, it's like you can tell that you've started a business and you've like, because your project management skills and you've kind of like paid a lot of dues to be able to do this. Like I don't think you would be able to do what you're doing now just out of CP. You needed to just like get out there, and same for me in some respect. Mine was more just like on like the like how can I just maintain like this, like be a director, like create a vision, and then all of my and then the things that I'm not great at now, it's like you're just, as far as like transferring the creative process into like something that's actually can become a big thing is like a whole creative process in its own that's like I need help with, and it's really cool seeing that collaboration work out. So
it's been interesting because I worked on a bunch of different SaaS apps, so like software as a service. Your Facebooks and your Discords, like not games. And it's interesting the headspace and finding the commonalities, games, that. And then I've also done work for like other children's brands. Like working in the toddler brand space was fascinating because it was a whole new world that I hadn't known about that was totally different. Like when you're getting into curriculum development, like when you look at a show like a Paw Patrol or like a Peppa Pig, under the hood, what you don't realize is just they're doing like eye tracking studies. They're doing retention studies of percentage retention of whether a toddler has their curiosity peaked or not. What is the learning objective from it? Like what is the emotional or intellectual lesson you want a child to walk away from with it? And to be honest, I didn't as deeply understand that as when I was at Penguin.
Right.
But I mean, it wasn't a toddler brand. It was I mean, some people I think treat it as a toddler brand, which is a mistake. But
mistake. Crazy.
I hate the word brand, whatever. Next.
Band. It was a toddler band.
Yeah, speaking of toddlers.
Okay. What was the best part of being a leader guide for the community? I mean,
celebrating the community.
Yeah.
Propping them name and lights. That's it. I mean, my whole thing for me has just been supporting you peeps as much as I possibly can, all throughout. Like I just had so many. I'm sorry, Johnny, if I cut you off. If you want to jump in, but I had so many stories. People who were inspired by Penguin, who aspired to work at Penguin. And so I watched, like, there's one image that still kind of emotionally haunts me today, was Chili One drew this illustration right around the closure, and it was this image of a penguin crying and this balloon flying off into the sky. Like it's still, I still get kind of worked up when I see that image, because to me it summed up this feeling that this amazing world is being shut down, as well as the dream of working on it. And so, yeah, the most important part to me is trying to bring that dream back. So, yeah, that's it. anyways, if I get worked up about it, it's because I'm trying to do everything in my power to celebrate the community's creativity and make a place to bring it back. And for all the people who are like going, oh, there's no creative direction on Parrot, shut up. I'm trying to help you bring your dreams back. So I feel quite strongly about that. Anyways, that's just my 2 cents. What are your thoughts?
I'm just like to echo that entirely. It's like also there's a deep purpose involved because the world is headed more online. I mean, we joke about the Zuckerberg metaverse robots taking over all NFT stuff, but we can project into the future. It's just like everybody's moving online, and I'm not convinced there's a really good...
What do we want online to be? What do we want that to look like? Like, do we want it to look like the meta presentation?
Yeah, like a profit-motivated, like something that's just all about the individual, something that's just... Like, I'm seeing the world... The online space can be either super isolating or can have the opportunity to actually be a community. And I'm just seeing online, it's just like a really, really isolating experience right now. Even like on Instagram, even on TikTok, it's just all about the ego. It's all about yourself and promoting yourself. And although there's some really great examples of communities online, I just want to be part of creating something with really like actual core values that aren't just about, you know, taking over the world or maximizing profits. It's like, how can we make something that makes the individual feel valued as part of a community where we're all working towards a collective and we have heart, and the people that are running it actually care, you know? It's like, and aren't just going to sell it off to the first bidder and make like, you know, make money or whatever and sell it off to Disney or do whatever. Like, it's the motivation from the very beginning is to be like, listen, we've had experience, we've seen the penguin community and how like deep, like how crazy meaningful that community was, and how it was frankly mismanaged, right? Especially near the end where it was just like turned off, like going back to the igloos thing, not really appreciating that there's like heart and soul being put into within the game, and people at the top just thought it was something that you could, you know, oh, we're not making our profit margin, so we're just going to shut it all down, and not like barely taking into consideration like what that actually means to like a community. Like it's I don't know. So
yeah, the tricky thing is like in order to keep a store open, like I think of this as a kid. Like you think, you go, hey, there's this playground place. It's a really fun business that you go to in town, right? You're like, oh, I'm going to go to this arcade or this playground place. And it's like, you pay $5 to get in or whatever. And then suddenly that business is gone. And you're like, what? And then you feel something about it being gone. Unfortunately, you have to make it profitable. This is the reality of it. It's like you have to make it profitable. So it takes some serious intelligence to make something that is profitable, but is also authentically meaningful, that actually values community. Yeah. So that's a real hard nut to crack. And I know that everyone is pooping on like all the very obvious negatives of NFTs, right? So, but the reality is they're not going to go away, people. No. I hate to tell you this, they're not going away. The Pandora box has been opened. What are we going to do about it?
Yeah, how can we use that technology?
Exactly. So, like, my suggestion is we got to fight to get Ethereum to be eco-friendly, right? That is a big one. If everyone's going to be using Ethereum, we got to fight to make that eco-friendly. Eco as in ECO. We got to make sure that it actually becomes, that it doesn't pillage the earth to do these things. The truth is, like, even us streaming right now, it has an eco effect.
Yes.
There is an ecological effect and impact to anything done digitally. So what are we going to do about it? And that's the problem we're trying to solve. There's lots of these things. Like, I don't care about the NFT stuff. It's just like, it's all too much speculation of people trying to pump and dump, and crappy art being auto AI generated that I make fun of all the time. Just abysmal, right? Like, you know,
See, I think
the truth of it, what matters is what do we want the future to look like?
Yeah,
So,
I just want to mention something about NFTs. So I know there's a lot to be said about like it's a scam. It's all this kind of
in
stuff.
a lot of places it probably is,
Well,
but I think that will burst that bubble.
Well, it's just put it this way. It's just like any type of product. Like why everybody flipped out about NFTs. Just to give you some backstory, to understand NFTs, you got to understand like blockchain and cryptocurrency, and it's basically digital permanence. It was the first time that we were actually create something digital that you can't just, that's like totally 100% unique and can't be removed. So it's like you can't duplicate it. It's like a ledger. We just know it as like a coin, basically. And what Ethereum did was they built in smart contracts where they can like permanently tie a digital asset to a coin. So even like a lot of people don't make sense because like, yeah, it's just an art. I can just like copy and paste it, or I can use other people's. It's unique to the NFT, so innately it has like digital value. And right now it's confusing because it's like, well, we have to decide like what means value, and a good comparison, like how is that, like what makes one NFT more value than the other? And then you have to get more into like branding kind of when you think about it. Like you can take two shoes that are identical. One has the Nike check mark on it, one doesn't. One is going to be way more valuable than the other. It's like that's kind of how NFTs work too. Like
there's a thing about what people don't realize in that space, like in the physical brand product stuff. So Nike as an example, what people don't realize, and I watched a documentary on this, is the counterfeit goods, like the fake Gucci bag, right?
Yeah.
You just think, whatever, it's no big deal. It's just a fake thing. What you don't realize is that actually like it's funding like military groups and some really awful stuff.
Yeah.
So
so like
it's a complicated subject.
It is.
I mean, I think the end of the day, the original promise is interesting. Actually, it's like the idea that there's a royalty system. There's an actual credit of this is the original creator. I think DeviantArt is doing one of the more interesting things. I've said this before, but it's the idea that you could protect your art. Like if somebody creates something, they should have the ability to protect their IP of I made this thing for myself and it's my creation. They should be able to put it somewhere on the internet and say, this is mine. And if they don't want to enter into the NFT space, they absolutely should have the permission to be able to do that. Or if they want to, then they should. But then they can. Like, that's up to them. You can't, like, there's people who are really passionate about this space and they're going to keep doing it. And we can't stop them.
Yes.
I mean, you can get upset about it, but the truth is you can only influence someone 20 to 30%. Like, even me trying to, like, have people that I've managed in the past or whatever that I've tried to empower, I can only really influence them a tiny bit. Ultimately, I'm just giving them information and they're going to use it or not use it, right? So, like I could say, Johnny, I don't like the way you brush your teeth.
What?
But it's up to you to make that decision of whether you brush your teeth differently or not. You know what I mean? Like, so it's kind of like as a community, we need to be thinking, how do we encourage people to see through the lies that are happening in that space right now, and discern
with NFTs too. It is one of those things where just looking at the technology and how and when you just take away how people are currently using it as a scam and how people are like, it's really easy to be cynical about everything. Profiteering for sure. And I totally agree. People are just using it to create things without creative expression, and there is a popularity contest involved, and but it's in the wild west phase when you look at it just from a technological perspective, and you like look at like the potential is real, and the fact is it's not really going away. There just needs to be good people creating better applications for it, right? And that's
improving the actual technology
technology, right? Like
Because if it's going to keep happening, I want to make sure that it's done responsibly, and so that's what you can voice. It's like
it's like one of those
and
things.
you vote with your dollars.
Yeah.
Just as a reminder, if you go to the grocery store, you are the one choosing your organic milk versus the processed stuff, or even buying meat. If you're a vegan, don't buy meat. Like it. Do you know what I mean? Like it's similar.
It's interesting though, like in that sense, like I did a lot of work with sustainable seafood with Oceanwise, and the biggest mission statement was like exactly use your dollars, and boycotting something generally doesn't always work as opposed to like supporting the good guys, right? Because you can if there's something this prevalent, and like NFTs are going to be powering the metaverse. Like when you're in your digital meetings on your VR headset or whatever, like meeting somebody like your future employer in this weird meta office space, you're gonna need NFTs to dress up your avatar. And there's gonna like culturally in the same thing as the real world where somebody's wearing these dumb Yeezy sneakers that they bought for $3,000, that like has like cultural relevance, and it's like this weird. For whatever reasons to humans, like it's like peacocking or whatever, it means something. I don't like it, but that's going to exist in the metaverse as NFTs.
It's going to exist somewhere.
Yeah, so somebody's going to have these shoes. Like Nike just bought an NFT shoe company for hundreds of millions of dollars. So you're going to be existing as an avatar, and there's going to be these weird status things.
I would argue that it's there will be both.
Yeah.
You're not going to have everything be NFT, right? Like
not everything will be NFT. I was just saying like. Just proving the point that it's not going away, and there's insane.
There are companies that are gonna really work at it.
There's trillions of dollars being invested into it right now. The metaverse, like these digital spaces, are NFTs. It's not just art. It's anything digital, making it so that people's investments in that are safer. That it can't just be duplicated. And like the more people invest into it, the more strong it gets. I know it's so early on. It's easy to be cynical, but it's
also easy to be upset about it.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that it's right. It doesn't mean that it's right. 100%.
It's a hot topic. So, I get it. Like, I think the negatives that are going on in there are negative. Like, I think there's a lot of real negatives. But I think the truth is, we gotta vote for the good guys and be strategic about it.
So here's a fun anecdote. I just want to put a pin in this. So I'm totally with you, Unity. It does not mean that it's right, and it is super icky. Like I was one of those early people on Clubhouse that was just like NFTs are gonna change the world, and like I am friends with I was working with somebody who got basically at the time they got like overnight made like $6 million off of NFTs. So it was like this crazy boom, and it was all the artists I know were just like, holy crap, we can actually like participate and not get screwed over all the time. And then that was like before it kind of got really icky, and I had the opportunity to make a Nickelback NFT and like actually have like I was like, yeah, Nickelback wants you to make an animated NFT for them. And their manager talked to me about it. I was like, oh, I'm going to make it a meme or whatever. And I started working on it. And this is at the time like when Lego was going, and Lance was just like, I want to do this work. And it was like my inspiration just dried up immediately. I was just like, because my motivation was just to make money. And it sucks. And that's like void of any creative inspiration. And that's kind of what the art that we're seeing that really sucks, like totally what you guys are saying, is coming out of NFTs because people are trying to use it as a cash grab. However, just like anything, just like the gold rush or whatever, it's going to translate and evolve into something that can be potentially meaningful. And that is what we want to put our money and resource and time into, is like, how can we make it so this isn't just like pushing forward this really icky, superficial way of making art,
or lies. Like there's
lies,
not
or
just the icky. There's
art.
like there's exactly the stealing art thing. The like, oh, you'll be able to take your avatar this world. I'm like, well, only if it's supported. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
And so,
there's also an ownership thing that's not true. People don't realize. Like there's a Routers article about the legality of it, whether you actually own the thing or not. Like there's a lot to it.
So in the same type of mission statement is like, we want what we're building to make the world a better place. Cliche, but like actually like contribute to something that leaves people a healthier and happier, and helps like artists like us like to like actually produce meaningful art and sustain themselves. We're gonna put all of our effort into that space, whatever it looks like. And we're not even thinking about NFT implementation, but we're just looking at where everything's going, and we're trying to strategically look at like how can we do it right, you know. So and please keep talking to us about it and actually show us like keep us up to date on like the ickiness and where it's moving, because yeah, we definitely want you to be part of that conversation. Okay, we got to move on.
Be a data analyst about it. Like you look at the numbers of it. When I do a pro con, I'll do a rubric, and I'll be like, rubric is like an assessment. It's like, here's a pro con list, and here's I'm going to score this pro, and I'm going to score this con, and then I'll mathematically work out what are the pros and cons of this. How can you do it better? You know, and where do you just not do anything and not enter in? So it's a deep, controversial, hot topic right now, as it probably should be.
Yeah.
You know, the same thing is happening in the retro gaming space, guys. Like, there's this whole new market of sealed video game collectors who are buying sealed video games.
Yucky.
And then slabbing it. They're putting it into a piece of plastic, grading it, and saying, this is a 9.6. So it's worth, this Mario 64 is worth $1.5 million. Like, there's this kind of junk happens in unregulated markets. What you can push for is regulation.
Yeah, exactly. And especially when we're like dealing like on a property that's safe for children, like we're constantly faced with regulation, and like that's what like working at.
No, I think it's just do the right thing the right way. That's all that it is.
But making games for kids, it's like you're forced into like you have to work through those parameters. You know, those are part of the creative process when you're designing something that has to be safe for everybody. And so like using that's like a skill
we're trying
set.
to build like we're trying to build like online Mario, like these IPs that are fun for everyone.
Yeah.
You know, they don't have to exclude anyone. They're inclusive play.
And
okay,
it would be like
we should move on.
Factory farms are really terrible, and you can boycott them, and then people are just gonna still go to McDonald's, or you can like put your money into like good farmers who are doing good things and treating animals properly, and then more people. It happened with the organics industry, like that's a success story. Like people moved the market to buying more organic stuff, and it's still a work in process, but it used to be like nothing in the grocery store was labeled organic until culturally it became important and people moved forward into that. Yeah, we should move on. This is a sticky conversation. I have a lot to say about it, and I've spent a lot of time trying to run away from it because it icked me out too. Believe me, like it icked me. I don't know. I probably could have made a lot of money doing a Nickelback NFT, but it just icked me so out to the point where I just had to just say I can't do it. So if we do enter into it, it's going to be punk rock. Let's try to change the system in some way that actually makes it awesome. I love debating too, Unity. It's my favorite thing. Okay. What
I do not enjoy debating, but that's
Now on to a real question. What's your favorite plant?
What's your favorite plant? Ooh,
well, I like willow. Is that including trees? Like any vegetation?
Yeah, why not? Well, maybe Cecilium is... Let's see a chat from you. Does this include trees? Any plant? Okay.
Willow trees. I love willow trees. Love these big giant willow trees.
I'm really fascinated by why the willow tree? Just like the look of them?
Yeah, they're just like the weeping willow trees. They're just so grand and beautiful. And then like they just like here, I'm just gonna pull up a picture and I'll describe why. I just think that there's so. Maybe I have like a childhood connection to it because there's a few of these in Kelowna, and Green Bay Camp had all like was lined with willow trees at this area, and they provide so much shade, and you can climb them, and they're like they're like the branches all hang down, and when you're a kid, you can swing on them. It just feels like the ultimate like natural tree fort. I don't know. It just feels like a home. Like I feel really safe when I'm underneath a willow tree. I just love it. Yeah, that's why. So easy
That's cool.
answer.
I'm currently really fascinated by just plants I know nothing about. So I love learning and I love systems. So it's been really fascinating just being like, you talk about that there are no coincidences, right? Or there's fate. Call it fate, call it karma, call it what you want.
Call it fate.
But I'm quoting my Ghostbusters because I love ghosts. But yeah, in the whole discovery of the kakapo thing, like realizing that this party parrot meme is based on this parrot that there's only 200 of them in existence. I'm like, that is just so special.
So cool.
It's like these birds are like really critically endangered, and they're very carefully monitored to make sure that we can keep them in existence so they don't literally go the way of the dodo bird. And so in studying that, I'm actually currently like the Rimu plant seed thing, like that tree, that plant is important to that creature's survival, and it's really made me reflect on the importance of plants. It's like this plant is the reason that this species continues to reproduce and stay alive and stay in existence.
Yeah.
So if there's a bumper crop of Rimu, then they're more likely to have a better like egg planting season with the birds, right?
Interesting.
So
all connected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I'm in the same. I'd say my second. It's maybe my favorite actually is mycelium. Just like mushrooms in general, and they have like it's like to. I don't know, maybe as like a metaphor, they have like this iceberg effect where we think of mushrooms as like the fruit, but really the actual mushrooms is the mycelium underneath is these giant networks that are spreading nutrients and like acting as like these.
And it's interesting that it comes from like waste product,
Yeah.
right? Like that you have waste creates these weird life forms in mushrooms and toadstools,
and they're like it's a communication network, so it's like it's allowing for trees like to communicate with other trees miles away to be like, hey, there's like a beetle coming, make sure that you change the contents of your sap so you're okay, or like, hey, we this young tree needs more resources because it doesn't have as much shading, and so all these trees are actually communicating in like a big hive mind
like
brain.
the mushrooms taking the nutrient that the things that might be poisonous to the development of that tree way and towards them, and so they're dependent on each other to grow. It's really interesting.
As like a fun project, you can grow like oyster mushrooms yourself. Like you can do it, like it's not that hard, and I encourage
make
like,
your own kombucha.
Yeah, kombucha is also a mushroom, right? Or it's like a fungi, and it's really fun growing your own like mushrooms, like an oyster mushrooms, because you have to like get the substrate right and grow a really beautiful mycelium, and then wait until like the mushrooms pop up. It's just so cool. And then also, like, it's a fun fact, it's another reason why do potted plants not do as well as like plants in the ground? It's because of mycelium networks. The plants don't have access to a mycelium network in a pot, and so you need to like be on it all the time, where it's like,
and we can learn a lot from plants. It's kind of like being indoors and not talking to others, we need each other.
You know what else is like a plant?
No,
You know what else is like a plant? NFTs. And I'm just kidding.
Ah!
Okay, next one.
Oh.
What's your favorite gemstone or
Hey,
mineral?
good segue.
Hey, that is a good segue. Here, I'll show you. This is probably my favorite. Selenite. It's not as interesting, but there's something. Hold on, let me see if I can. Can you see? You can
look of it.
Like, oh wait, maybe I can do this. Can you see my eyeball? these were actually used. Fun fact, these were used and a different when cut right, these are basically like magnifying glasses, and you can actually look to read maps. So these are actually used by pirates and sailors and stuff, cut in a certain way to like read maps, because you can see it because they're all strands and they're translucent. At a certain point, it acts as like a magnifying glass. See? So when they're cut
That's
right,
cool. I wish I had some of my minerals in front of me. I don't have. They're all in the other room. I've got. Yeah.
Do you see that? And if this is cut like flat, not round, and you slide it across a map, it allows you to like zero in on it. See? Ooh, it's really cool. I love it.
It's awesome.
Yeah. What about you?
I think for me, jade, just because I love the rich green color, and because, I mean, maybe in the chat you guys can, but you kind of your creative output in the future, I think, is really guided by your formative, kind of stories that you grow up with, right? So for me, like, I go back to some key, like, sort of games and cartoons and movies that are just kind of the source of a lot of my inspiration. Like, my stupid, nonsensical, random humor is very simple. Like, you can just go on YouTube.
Sorry, you cut out.
Samurai Pizza Cats.
Oh.
There's a bunch of them on YouTube. You can watch them. But it was basically a show where they bought the rights, like whatever the company was, they bought the rights from the Japanese company to localize these Japanese cartoons into English. And so they got the rights, and they're like, okay, do you have the scripts? And they're like, no, we don't have the scripts. We lost them. So instead of like translating them from the scripts, because they didn't have it, and instead of sitting down and writing out all the Japanese and then translating the Japanese, they just made up scripts. So they literally watched the Japanese, and they had some Japanese knowledge, and they just made stuff up. They're like, well, they're doing this on the screen right now, and this is kind of what they're saying. So, and they just wrote whatever they wanted instead. So it's the most bizarre creative output ever. The voice actors, it's ridiculous. But
I should check it out. I haven't seen it.
Anyways, like, it's old school, so it's it's flawed in many ways. It's but yeah, Jade is very much from Romance of the Three Kingdoms, which is cool. Probably one of my favorite franchise story things. So
I'm gonna get you a jade to have at your desk. I feel like everybody needs a crystal in front of them in their working space.
I've got some, like, there are a bunch of them are on Emma's desk. So
here's something. I'm gonna tell a little meaningful story right now. On this topic, because I might cry, but maybe I won't. So the selenite has like some like lore meaning to it, and it's always like it connects you to the spirit world in a way. So like a lot of people have these around when they want to connect to the like past lives or whatever. Like the basic thing is just like this is a way to connect you to a different realm. And my grandpa, this was his watch. And he passed away in 2015, and then I got this from him. It's not the best, it's just like it's an old man's watch. Just like something you got at Zeller's. My grandpa was always the one that, like, he was just the best listener, and he would like play with me. Like when all the adults were being adults, he was the one who would just like play. And I always think about my grandpa when he just Lego. He wouldn't even talk, like, it was never like he wasn't even trying to like instigate anything. It's just like, what are you doing? Okay, I'm doing it too. And it was really awesome. So I have this at my desk always right in front of me. So I have the selenite, and I have his watch around it, and I look at it all the time. I don't even know if it's the correct time, but
I find it really fascinating. There's familiar with animism?
Animism?
Animism. Yeah, it's like, it's basically a description of different like belief systems that are rooted in the natural, right? And so this object has energy to it. It's kind of like, First Nations belief systems would be under sort of the animism umbrella.
Yeah.
Shinto would be under the animism umbrella. I do think there's some like transference of energy to objects, like that this is a time of my life and this is a thing that feels like that moment. There's this sort of tactile thing that we have as humans. this watch, it's them.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
Well,
it's
what I love
fascinating.
about animism is, and honestly, any like spirituality is, if you stop getting caught up in like if it's
Well, it's
real or not.
non-spiritual. That's
if you-
what I like
yeah.
about it is
But like if you get caught up, you're like, of course it's not alive, of course it's not this. But if you approach it from like a different perspective, being like, yeah, that holds a lot of meaning for me, and I can
Just respect.
channel things with it. Like I can like use it to help myself get through things emotionally. Yeah, that's animism. Then
It's
if it's real to you, it's real. It's like people get into debates of like even like mythology. It's like, yeah, that, you know, you can prove that, you know, all these mythologies aren't real, so they're irrelevant. Not true. Stories are important. Fiction is so important for us to understand the human condition, right? So like when even with animism, like all that kind of stuff, I love it because it's like if it's real to you, then it's real. Bottom line, you know what I mean? Like it
to
doesn't.
me, it's about like finding the universal human
Yeah.
things to respect about each other.
Speaking
That's
of
all.
animism and something that takes me right back, that's this thing right here. Speaking of Chili, Chili says, I have a turquoise I got when I was young from a very nerdy cousin who was especially fun and playful with me while the older kids ignored me. I still have that gemstone to remember how much he would inspire me. That's amazing.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Chili, that's funny that you say that. This reminds me, this is like,
Reminds you of your time at Penguin.
well, no. Well, yes, it reminds me of my time at Penguin, but it also realizes just like,
You were leaving right around the time that she sent
Yeah.
that to you. Like you went to Hippo shortly after that.
yeah, I have this at my desk to remind me what my purpose is while I'm working. It's like, what am I doing while I'm working? Like, am I inspiring people? Because it's like at the time I was just like, I'm making this dumb moose thing and I'm famous on Club Penguin. Yippity, look at me. Like, I would feel like I'm famous. But then I look at this and it's like, actually no. It's like all that dumb fame CP mod stuff is meaningless when you look at this object and you're just like, actually. And then you look at the moose, like what we're doing now. It's like there's a deeper meaning, and it's like, what are you doing to remind people that they have the creator in them? You know what I mean? It's like
That any of you could go into your basement and create a thing like a Penguin or a Star Wars or anything.
or
that's
remix
what's
a
cool.
thing to be another thing. Like you don't have to draw to be good, or you don't have to like come up with the
You don't
best
have to
idea.
make music. You don't have to be the
Yeah.
graphic designer. You don't have to be the writer. Like, just be.
As a collective, right? Like, it might be hard to come up with your own IP, but you're an amazing artist, and so you do like community art projects that take you to the next level, that then inspires the next thing and the next thing. Or like I always talk about this Pixel guy. It's like Pixel guy's always saying like, I'm not good at coming up with original ideas, so I need inspiration. It's like, yeah, but you're an amazing artist, and a lot of people aren't amazing artists, but some people are amazing at come up with original ideas. And so if we partner together, it's like that's that like magic where it's like we're creating things as a collective, and everybody's feeling collectively satisfied and not crushed by the pressure of making the best thing all on your own. It's really cool.
I got really inspired. I watched a documentary about Clive Davis, who is basically a music business mogul, and he's the guy who made Barry Manilow to Kenny G to Whitney Houston to Bad Boy Records with Puff Daddy. Like, it's all him under the hood. And what's interesting about him is that you take the example of Barry Manilow in the 70s. He meets this artist who's a songwriter. He writes all his own songs. He writes TV jingles. He wrote a whole bunch of them. He wrote there's a song, I'll post it in the chat because I find it hilarious, A Very Strange Medley, where he goes through and performs live a series of all of his commercials that he wrote music for.
Oh, cool.
It's ridiculous. I used to put it on mixtapes because it's so random.
I need to watch it.
This is super funny. And anyways, like he had all this material, and Clive Davis said to him, you don't have a hit. Which, if you were an artist or a songwriter, you're like, my identity is I'm a songwriter, I'm a singer, songwriter, performer, and you tell me I don't have any hits like that. You could get really crushed by that. And he says, no, don't worry. You just need a couple hits. Here's this song, Mandy. And here's this other one that's like called I Write the Songs. So they wrote a song for him. They had professional songwriters who were not attached to his identity.
Yeah.
And they provided repertoire. So I don't know if you're familiar with this, but like in the music industry, it's artists and repertoire.
Yeah.
So there's the artist, but then there's the repertoire that they perform. So if you're a musician, it's the songs you perform. If you're an artist, so for example, we have the repertoire that we are developing together, which are the moose and the parrots, and we're just offering it as something, as a jumping off point, and we'll keep developing it together, and it will emerge together. It's a new repertoire we're kind of writing together. The cool thing is that Mandy became this big hit for him. I Write the Songs became a big hit for him, so it lifts up all of his other material. Same thing like in the hip-hop space, same thing with Whitney Houston, all these amazing artists. It's really interesting to think about it. It's like what we're trying to do with Moose and Suits and with Club Party Parrot is just really have some things you could jump off of. Like I look at just how much jumping off material and creativity came from you, like celebrating the brand you loved, which is Club Penguin, right? So but it's not just Penguin. There's all the other things you were inspired by that you continue to draw, like air quotes, fan art about. But and really, it's not fan art. It's like, it's art. You're the artist. You are talented, and there's this repertoire that you are drawing, and that repertoire is either your creation or it's an OC, or it's something else is provided to you, and all are equally good. So I don't know, I don't know how we keep going on these tangents today.
I'm enjoying myself.
Deep stuff.
Are you enjoying yourself?
Hopefully the stream is good, folks. Are you enjoying yourselves?
They're my ideas. I mean,
you can just say yes or no in the chat. That's totally cool.
And one day I'm gonna put together like a. Oh, there haven't been any ads here. What the heck?
I think there's an ad coming up.
No, this is the end.
Is it?
Unless I skipped ahead, but just to lean into this, because I'm very passionate about this as well. It's like I love what you're mentioning, and they're saying in the chat that you told the story last time, but you're
sorry.
No, it's okay because you're driving
it.
You
become an old dad.
Yeah, that's a dad thing, by the way. At a certain point, you just don't care, because sometimes when you repeat a story, especially when you're on a stream like me and you get interrupted all the time, you often don't get to the you finish the story but aren't able to cross over into like real world application. And I feel like you did in this case, where it's like absolutely like being able to be part of a collective and that's like providing ideas and memes for like a repertoire like Moose and Suits or Party Parrot is like giving you the skills and the ideas to then move over to make your own thing. Like it's building that, it's like that foundational period. And it's also, you're part of a community that is aware of you and they're remixing your stuff so that when it comes down to it, could be years in the future, once you're part of this strong community and then you do have your own IP, you all of a sudden have like a crazy support system, and you know a writer, and you know somebody who does 3D animation, and you know all these things, and then it's like, hey everybody, like I would not be surprised at all, and I actually hope this happens, that out of all this, you guys find some crazy collaboration and build a game together. That's totally original.
Just go make your own thing.
Yeah, I mean
we're just going to provide the tools. Like it's just to us, it's all about listening, giving you tools, and propping your name in lights wherever we can.
Yes.
That's, I never left the idea of, the players are the stars. You are. Yeah. Like, I'm trying to celebrate you peeps, right? Like, that's why we're doing this stream and you're listening to Dad talking. It's not because Dad here is that interesting. I'm boring as anything. You guys, I want to celebrate you.
Yeah.
That's what this is for.
Yeah.
So, keep creating. It's cool. And it's a good, just positive release if you got some job that you hate and you're like, it's a good release to create stuff, It's important to humanity. Having a sense of purpose is really important. So, anyways.
All right. What does this say? Dads are interesting. Wow. We're just like totally dad branding. We're like dad brand. That should be our company.
Dad-rific.
That should be our company dad brand, because it's funny because not a lot of you know that in all of the PR meetings with Club Penguin and stuff, not even before PR, it was always just like Lance and Dave were 3 dads with small children who are freaked out about this idea of the internet, and there's no real safe place. We're the same. Like
You have to. Actually, that's just it's a good thing to come back to. That's what's happening with the NFT thing. Like, literally, people are like, the internet's bad. We need to get kids off of it. And we did the opposite. We said, look, kids are going to be on the internet. Give them a safe option that's an alternative to this. That's what we need to think about. And I don't know what the answer is yet, but that's kind of what's happening in crypto land. It's like, it's the Wild West again. Calling it Web3 is totally marketing garbage, BS, whatever. But it's, you know, it's kind of does represent that kind of tidal shift. And yeah, anyways.
I just want to pause and just say that segue was amazing. That you just did. Like, I just want to say, I was blown away by that segue. Just like connecting, like this all, like it's full circle. Like bringing it back to like the purpose of like Penguin being like, yeah, because you're right. At the time, it was just like kids do not belong on the internet. And then it's just like, no, it doesn't matter if they belong on it or not. It doesn't matter if it's a terrible place. They're going to be there, right? It's like NFTs, people, and kids are going to be buying, like, in the NFT space. So who do you want to be running that show, right? It's like there is a weird sense of urgency that we want to, like, that we're tapping into. It's just like, if this is where the world is headed, who's looking out for people? Like, who's looking out for the individual? Who's like actually being like I care about mental health. I want the future generations to be leaders, because frickin' we got a lot of hard problems to solve in the future. And if our consciousness is being controlled by people who don't really have the greatest values and don't really care, because the more and more we're going into these online worlds, the more is like your consciousness is being absorbed, and we're like, we are just products of our environment. And so like, we just want to, like, how can we instill like really strong values that make the world a better place? I know it's super cliche, a tech company.
Can I tell you my fun idea?
Yes.
So my fun idea.
Oh, this is a live react to your idea.
So my fun idea is we turn, that is our villain force. So in every story you need a great villain, and the great villain really are they're apes, and they're synthetic AI that are trying to take over and make lives miserable. That's kind of a great villain to work against, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
can we make them? Can we make the agency they're part of like have the acronym NFT? Like,
just saying, like, is that not a great villain force?
It's amazing.
Anyways, that's my teaser for what I'm thinking of is like, you know, stupid bored apes and cyber cat garbage, like whatever. Like, some people are super. That's cool. Whatever.
I love the ape. Can we make it so that the villains cross over in your world and my world, like Moose and
Let's do it. Love it.
Because there's no real villain in Mooseland other than themselves, their past selves, which will just be resolved in lore, and then they'll love. Then it's just, but there needs to be some sort of ongoing, yeah. And having like an AI ape is like, tell me if
I'm just saying it's kind of cool. I've been thinking a lot about that. Like, I love the Evil Empire Rebellion story. It's not just in, I love it in Final Fantasy. I think it's just a kind of it's a fun foil where you've got this force. I was thinking about that with the stoats, right? Like, these stoats represent these. Whoa, giant screen, cool.
What's going on? What's going on?
I don't know. You're now showing me a Chrome screen. Oh, what's going on, Dad?
I don't know.
Anyways,
sorry.
I just think it's kind of a fun, like, what is the Empire, right? Like, what is this Empire? And the Empire is this sentient being, this robotic force that wants to turn all humanity into like a bunch of like AI algorithm drones. That's kind of a cool foil.
Well, okay, so here's my question for you. I don't know if this is intentional. You can lie and say it is, because I think it's brilliant. Apes kind of represent like in like what we were before, right? Enlightenment. So by making AI these apes, it's almost signaling that like moving into this space is almost gonna like devolve us if we're not careful back into these like, because I think that these algorithms, if you just look at like all the hate that's going online and how much like we're just tapping into our lizard brains here, like early in evolution, like all of these emotions like hate and fear are things that our frontal cortex helped us move beyond. So we're not just living in fight and flight all the time. So like having the villains be these techno whatever AI apes with the goal be like, I'm gonna devolve you back into these like brilliant. I think that's, I don't know, to me that's what I take away from it, and I'm just like,
moral reason, right?
Yeah.
The whole point of storytelling is to transfer information. Like you guys, as you know, George Lucas said this. Like he's like, the point of telling stories is to transfer knowledge to your younger selves.
Yeah.
So really think about yourselves. Like, you know, if the future generation of penguin-aged players is playing the worlds that you're creating with us, right? That's pretty hefty stuff. We want to create something as positive as we can for them. So anyways, I gotta go because I got a meeting up. So
hold on. Okay.
Thank you
wait,
for.
hold on. We have to do this.
Thanks, Dad.
Just wait.
Thanks,
don't
community.
sign off yet. You have to be here for this.
Okay.
We're under contract.
I will be here for this. Okay.
We have to.
Make sure I'm not late for this meeting. Actually. Real life.
Other stream is, and every other stream is brought to you by coffee. It's here. Drink it. Every other Moosey is. It makes them stronger, smarter, faster. Makes them gods. Does it really? Who knows? Try it for yourself now. Just type in CO7733 at www.co7733@www.sales_norm_everywhere_italy_form/yes_corn/redeem ultimately_nothing. Written by Cecilium. Watching too many spy movies. Okay. Awesome. That's it.
Awesome.
Can we do something
Love it.
really?
Love
Can
the
we do something
creativity.
really crazy here? And sign off together. Can we try it?
I love it. Let's do it.
Wait, hold on.
On the count of three.
Hold on. I just.
One.
As a sign off, you guys. This is us again. This is another week. Congratulations on being you. I hope that the goal with these weekly streams is just to have you understand our intentions with all this and see where we're at, you know, and maybe keep us in check, right? Because we're passionate guys, and we have we really believe in this, and part of beginning this was how can we create something where because the further you get down developing something, the more you lose the early vision, or you're at risk of losing the initial spark, because things get really technical really fast, and then you might become more profit motivated than community motivated, because that's just where your attention needs to be. So a big part of this is just these values are really important to us, and it's important that you guys know it too, and also hold those same values, because we don't we need to protect them, especially in this world where it's increasingly harder to have values in the online space. So that's my piece. I always say something meaningful at the very end of the stream. Yeah.
I like cheese.
I love cheese.
And I tried to be a vegan for it's a temptation that took me back. I need to stop the cheese. It's so delicious.
Stop the cheese. Cheese is delicious. You know what else is delicious? NFTs.
Signing off.
This is brought to you by NFTs. No fun talking. You guys, can we come up with our own NFT acronym that we use?
Villain acronym?
Yeah, something that's just that'd be really awesome. Okay, guys, here it is. Here's this. Here's the song. Here we go. Everybody, love you. Bye.
Hey, player. guys, thanks for watching. Join our Discord at mooseandpolo.com/discord to experience the new and most exciting community on the entire of MySpace. I mean internet. Yes, internet.
Will it get to the corner?
Awesome moose.
That's awesome. It's a KPI. This is one thing that you guys are going to experience when you get more and more into the working world. Is you're going to hear the word KPI. What's the key How many parrots made how many? 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 How many parrots made great big amazing with 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 great big amazing
All right.
with great big amazing with great big amazing with great big
I can't see in these glasses. Why did I wear those glasses? I can't see them.
with great big amazing 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 with great big
So this one gets made. My dad really told me yesterday that he wants to use the Polo shirt when I was 6 years. That'd be awesome.
It was funny as like being a dad, like you're super uncool, and then until I show up with like you're super uncool, like you're super uncool. Business dads around and all around and like you're super uncool. Hey dads. Dads. Right, that's coming. Right on. You know what I would really like to do is I'd really like to have a name for this, but it's that like you're super uncool. Yeah, you can say that, but tell me jokes. That butthole. I don't know what happens when you have children. Maybe college one age have this experience. As soon as you have a child, you know, this is pretty simple for you still, right? Like by 4 years, you're going to start saying it. 5 years now. Did you notice when you just suddenly start telling dad jokes out of nowhere? Like you're super uncool. You become a mother or father or something in between, a daughter, and you'll start telling lame jokes. It just happens. It's like you're super uncool.
Well, you just gotta let it come out. It's like you too many minutes, the dad joke just comes out. All right, that's the show. Okay, sorry. Okay, next. Your creative Twitch position. Yay! Awesome. Get into it. Let's do it. We're on the art train. Nina's Wormhole Theory. The Wormhole Theory. Oh boy, there's a wormhole. Nina's. Oh, it's just like the wormhole. Nina's Captain Clockrocker can open a wormhole.
Like you're super uncool. Like you're super uncool. Like you're super uncool.
Nina's
like you're super uncool. Like you're super uncool.
I'm super uncool, but it's okay.
Like you're super uncool.
Because Nina's pretty cool anyways. Your dad. Nina's Nina's dad. Nina's
like you're super uncool.
Nina's whole ideas, like I was the person I put up. Did you know there's actually scientifically proven to be 11 dimensions? Yeah, like I've been talking about, and now like it's becoming mainstream. Like the MCU and Doctor Strange and Spider-Man movie, stuff. These ideas of coming out soon, so
Spider-Verse is so good. Oh
good. So now we can actually like it's feasible to have like
feasible.
Like you're super uncool.
Well, and you're also picking up on where we want to go anyway, so that's totally the spirit of this, like, alternate dimensions. I think it's just way more fun, because it just opens it up to be like, hey, what if we have, like, opens it up to be like, hey, what if we had, like, opens it up to be like, hey, what if we had, like, opens it up to be like, hey, what if we had, like, opens it up to be like, hey, what if we had, like, opens it up to be like, hey, what if we had, like, opens it up to be like, hey, what if we had, like,
Okay, Pet Sprout.
To be like, hey, what if we had like? Oh, it's so awesome! I am so pumped because I wanted to spend some time painted some rocks and plants this week, but I didn't get there. I didn't do it. Like, hey, it's a brutal week. I'm sorry. I hope you guys have had a. Oh wow, that's cool! Like, is it an artificial hole or was it naturally formed? Naturally formed. Wow, that's naturally formed.
I picked that up at High and Dry, and I think it
Nina's art train.
But I got some permission from a shaman. Long story. Okay, a little succulent friend complains it isn't getting enough sunlight.
So cute.
Midnight sighs. My little plant buddy.
that is winter. She can't control the sun. This is amazing. I love the eyes in there. That's so cool. Wow. Congratulations, Midnight Aurora. You made me feel happy. The sun. This is amazing. I love the eyes in there. That's so cool. Wow.
cool.
Congratulations, Midnight Aurora. You made me feel happy.
So cool.
Pet Rocks by Midnight Aurora.
So cute. Dude, I love this. I want to see more pet rocks. It's like, so into this.
What the heck? This is
So
so
cute.
Dude, I love this.
See, that's what I want on a shirt. I don't want my face. I want that.
So cool. So cool.
Okay. Just every time horses join the party, everybody. Horses join the party. This is all awesome. Let's play the drums for us. I love this. Introducing Forrest. He's my boy. Watch him drum.
Is in like the sort of sassy expression.
Yeah. Oh, I'm an amethyst. Love this one too. I love like the one this year. I love this. Just like.
Is in like the sort of sassy expression. Yeah.
Oh, I'm an amethyst. I like. Oh, whoops. Man, here, look at these two friends. Look at these guys, huh? They're pals. And the succulent's just like.
Succulent's like.
What do you have to say to the stream? Know about you.
Hi.
And then.
Hi.
Like, I'm immortal.
Hi, stream.
What do you have to say to everybody?
Okay.
Is that you need soil and sun and water? Well, I guess technically some of those plants they may be more hardy, but those rocks are going to outlive them. Let's face it. And sun and water. Well, I guess
just like I'm immortal.
What's that? You need soil and sun and water? Well, I guess technically some of those plants they may be more hardy, but those rocks are going to outlive them. Let's face it.
Yeah.
Pet Rock interrupting the stream. Oh no, is this a viral moment?
Oh!
Whoa,
Wait,
so
is
embarrassed.
these
I'm
are
gonna
rocks
try.
in a formation.
This is Dad thing. So my boy
Like
could
this
be
is
in here.
just like one of those sand rake stuff.
Just me just had a little bit early.
I want to get one of those.
Are you
I
going?
have small children, and then
Bye!
it's just gonna be a sand mess that I have to vacuum. That's the only problem, but that looks pretty cool.
It was in an art exhibition. It's awesome. The methodology, the context, the history of something. And it was really fascinating because they talked about these gardens and how they're supposed to represent islands in the sea. Yeah, it's really quite cool.
Cool.
Really quite know more about that sort of the Japanese Zen garden thing.
I want to know more because anything like that, which is just like it
It's like, oh,
because
just pause and reflect on
and
live in the moment here.
reflect here and here and here and
It's like
here
quite
and here and here and here and
Really, really quite cool.
and here and here and here
Really quite cool.
and here and here and here.
Quite cool.
Yeah.
Like it's like a whole part of like actually design.
Like Minecraft is like that.
Yeah.
Minecraft is very much like it's create, destroy. In fact, the loop is super fast. It's like it's binary. It's one block and you create it or you destroy it. It's like so you move through that game loop really, really, really fast over and over and over again.
My team I'm fired with
Microsoft Teams.
Don't mind me. Cecilium's Sea Resort Restaurant. This is awesome. Great. This was when did they take away the igloo itself?
That was the light system. That was that launch that we Yeah, because we filmed, we stayed up overnight. Again, I kind of mentioned this in I think it's previous stream, but maybe it's somewhere else. But the night that we launched, like during the time when lights launched for igloos, that was a time when the infrastructure was quite driven. So you have to stay up. Actually, a lot of times we had the infrastructure team staying up overnight into the next morning, and the next team would come in as the other team was up all night on conference calls, making sure everything was up. It was problematic at that time. So infrastructure was a time when the ability for others to like igloos and to have no igloos infrastructure and save igloos, all those things. We knew that was going to be a substantial launch. So, like, if there's a launch, we should film with the chaos of the infrastructure. Making on a conference call, it's broken. Oh, what do we do? Oh no, we saw this bug on server. It was blocked. Turn it down, take it down, swap the files.
And so we did. And that my hope is that we can do a documentary, even selfishly, just to like finally actually share that story, because it's just such a moment in history now. Like that was now almost 10 years ago.
I haven't even looked at the footage.
2012.
That moment in history now,
penguin, 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 history, 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 what's the history, 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 what's the history, 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 what's the history, yeah. Everything's a moment in history. Right now, what we are experiencing will one day become history. And everything's a moment. So, is every moment history? Does history equal a moment? How do you solve for moment? Well, you need history. Or do you need moments? Who knows? Time is just an illusion, okay? That's how life works. That's just how life works. Life works.
There is for songwriting. For nice students, all the invisible boundaries are just made up, basically. I like to see it as like
So quiet in the stream.
it's humans making up rules for no reason, really. A good way to look at it is like the food that we eat.
Skip ahead here.
Who are we?
Oh, this will be good.
Yeah, unfortunately, it was pretty beautiful. We need some segues here.
Why am I so quiet? Why am I so quiet? What happened to my mic? I must have not set the levels quite right. What's wrong with my microphone? Did I mess it up? I better check the levels before we mess it up again. Ooh, ha, ha.
Look at this guy, what the heck?
Ooh,
Oh
ha,
my gosh.
ha.
Oh my gosh. This is on grab. Oh my gosh. This is on grab. Oh my gosh. This is on grab. Oh my gosh. Grab. Oh my gosh. This is on 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 grab.
Here we go. There it is. That's the stuff. Look at these guys. Look at this guy. What the heck? Oh my gosh. At least it's on grass. It's segues are weird because it's like they are attacking you, you know, like when they fall and it just like comes back at you and rolls you over. It's like kind of zooming you down. Like look at this guy. It's like trying to eat him alive. It's crazy. Like I think that like in the future when the robots do
these like little documentaries. It's like what is it called? There's like a whole like Club Penguin series that they made.
They made.
Apocalypse or something. What was it called? Or like businesses in it. It's like
What was it called?
I can't remember. What was it called? Club Penguin something? My brain doesn't work anymore. Come on, everybody. Let's skip ahead in the stream.
Yeah, so this is a
Come on, everybody.
Oh,
Good.
pockets,
John, see?
There we go.
Inspirational.
Come on, everybody.
It's like it's more inspiring to me to play Dungeons and Dragons as everyone's like that. But I find it inspirational. It's like it's more inspiring to me to play Dungeons and Dragons as a crow-like creature rather than as a or an elf. It's just not quite interesting to me. I'm more into the idea of penguins, parrots, frogs, snails, ocelots, all this kind of stuff. Yeah, and there's something about it. It's like wholesome is right. It's what I love about this art and like Chai's tattoos. Is like I love the wholesomeness of it. And actually, to be honest, like that's wholesome, musical, food eating, safe place. That's creatively what we want. Territorial, like it's a wholesome, musical, food eating, safe place. That's kind of like sunset, territorial, like it's a wholesome, musical, food eating, safe place. That's kind of like sunset, musical, wholesome, musical.
I just came in here. I just went out.
Musical. Yeah. Lots of restaurants, man.
I'm looking.
Yeah, like
food
trucks and stuff, which is a great segue. Segue.
Food eating.
Yeah. Lots of restaurants, man.
I'm looking.
Yeah, like
food
trucks and stuff, which is a great segue. Segue. Wait for him.
Look at that. He's trying to get him.
What a segue. What a segue. Give me that segue. Huh. I fell over it, you guys. Did you see that? I fell right on my bottom. Yeah.
Find some new peeps and make some friends.
Just create. We'll keep putting your name in lights as much as we can. That's our goal, right?
Yeah.
So
We will, and it's it's
just create. We'll keep putting your name in lights as much as we can. That's our goal, right?
Yeah.
So keep putting your name in lights as much as we can. We'll keep putting your name in lights as much as we can.
As much as we can. We'll never stop.
Why this isn't happening for a lot of people, because there's like it takes a lot of time and takes a lot of time and takes a lot of time and takes a lot of in this support you guys in this way. Support you guys in this way.
Keep putting your name in lights as much as we can.
You guys in this way. Support you guys in this way. You guys in this way. Support you guys in this way. Support you guys in this way. Support you guys in this way.
Put you guys in this way.
Support you guys in this way. Support you guys in this way. Support you guys in this way. Support you guys in this way. Support you guys in this way. Support you guys in this way. Support you guys in this way. Support you guys
some art mentorship. You can get like, so he's a Leica guy, so he knows all about traditional animation. He's taught in colleges and whatnot. He's in colleges and whatnot. He's in colleges and whatnot. Yeah, he's in colleges and whatnot. He's in colleges and whatnot.
What is the not?
In colleges and whatnot. He's
in colleges
and whatnot.
and whatnot.
In colleges and whatnot. He's
in colleges and whatnot.
He's in colleges and whatnot. He's
in colleges and whatnot.
He's
doing.
in colleges and whatnot. He's in colleges and whatnot. He's in colleges
And also-
and whatnot. He's in colleges and whatnot. He's
I'm so quiet. Why am I so quiet? My microphone is way tuned down. Way down. Way down. Way down. Way down. Okay, let's move on.
colleges and whatnot.
Way down. Way down. Wanderer's awesome parrot and moose art. This can never go back. Okay, let's move on. Shall we? Okay, let's do it. Wanderer's awesome parrot and moose art. Awesome parrot and moose art.
I love
awesome
this too.
Parrot and moose art. This is incredible. This is like awesome parrot and moose art. 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 Awesome parrot and moose art.
That was really something.
Awesome parrot.
Okay.
Play some tab.
Awesome parrot and
We
moose
need to
art.
have a different.
Awesome
I need to have
parrot
a
and
different
moose art.
Oh,
Awesome parrot and moose
You do.
Awesome parrot and moose art.
that was really
Awesome parrot and
something.
moose art.
Okay.
Now,
Awesome parrot and moose
This is
art.
so cool.
Awesome parrot and
So.
moose art. Awesome parrot and moose art.
Oh boy, this is a new segment. We need to have a different. I need to have a different soundbite.
oh,
You do.
that was really something.
Okay.
Now,
Play
for
some
something
Taz.
There we go.
completely
Sorry.
Something.
Awesome
Okay.
parrot
That
and
was
moose
really
art.
something.
Awesome.
Okay.
That was really something.
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 Okay.
That was really something. That was really something. That was really something.
That was really something. That was really something. That was really something. Yeah.
Missions that he has for the music festival Polo Field at Sunset. Totally welcome. I was hoping to make that like because that's kind of the inspiration is the Coachella.
Oh, let's talk about NFTs.
Like, well, only if it's supported. Like,
Yeah.
There's also an ownership thing that's not true. People don't realize. Like, there's a routers article about legalities of routers. Do you actually own the thing or not? Like, there's a lot to it.
Actually, like, contribute to something that leaves people healthier and happier and helps like artists like us to like actually produce meaningful art and sustain themselves. That's we're gonna put all where everything.
Hot onto this. How can you do it better? You know,
Yeah, exactly.
There's this kind of junk
happens in unregulated markets. What you can push for is
regulation.
Yeah,
exactly.
and it's especially when we're like dealing with like kind of junk
happens in unregulated markets. What you can push for is regulation.
Yeah, exactly. And especially when we're like artists like us, artists like us, we're constantly faced with regulation, and like that's what like.
No, I think it's just do the right thing the right way. That's all that it is.
Artists like us, artists like us, artists like us, artists like us, like those are artists. Like us, artists like us, artists like us, I spent a lot of time artists like us, artists like us, artists like us. I probably could have made a lot of money doing it back in artists like us, artists like us. I do it. So if we do enter into it,
it's going to be punk rock. Let's try to let's
we should move on.
This is, of course, this is. I have a lot to say about it, and it's
I spent a lot of time trying to run away from
artists like us, artists like
probably could have made a lot of money doing it.
I'm also I love debating.
Change the system, 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 change.
This is what we're all about.
Change the system, 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 change.
I like this.
Change the system, 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 change the system.
We're going to change the system, ladies and gentlemen. The system is changing. We're moving from
operating
System 59.67
to
to operating system
4.9-_3.
The new system will contain
Many good features, including
a way to wipe your
hard drive
permanently from this earth.
You also have
The ability to go into
to the back end of the system and unplug
all the cables that
make us into robots and bring us back into human life, real.
human life.
I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. All I know is that we're changing the system. All I know is that we're changing the system. All I know is that we're changing the system. Change 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 the system. System changes. Change the system. 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 We're changing the system. Change the system. The system is new. Change the system. You are not going to buy the old system. Change the system. We're going to clear our cache. Restart our device. We're going to reinstall a new operating system. Change the system. Change the system. We're going to be reborn. Change the system. Into a new system algorithm. I'm excited. Are you? Change the system. 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 So all these trees are actually communicating in like a high like the mushrooms. The time is just like kids do not belong on the internet. No, it doesn't matter if they belong or not. It doesn't matter if it's a terrible place. They're going to see them change, right? NFTs, people and kids are going. People and kids are going. People and kids are. Who do you want to be running that show?
Change the system. There is a weird method. Change the system. Change the system. Change the system. This is where the world is headed. Who's looking out for people? Like, who's looking out for the individual? Who's like actually being like I care about mental health. I want the future generations to be leaders because we got a lot of hard
against, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
can we make them? Can we make the agency like NF have the acronym NFT?
That's kind of a great villain to work against, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
can we make them? Can we make the agency they're part of like NF have the acronym NFT?
Kind of a great villain to work against, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
can we make them? Can we make the
agency they're part of like NF have the acronym NFT? Just saying, like, is that not a great
FT?
Like NF have the acronym NFT?
A great villain to work against, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
can we make them? Can we make the agency they're part of like NF have the acronym NFT?
Kind of a great villain to work against, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
can we make them? Can we make the agency they're part of like NF have the acronym NFT?
Acronym NFT.
Just saying, like, is that
acronym
not a great
NFT.
villain for
Change the system.
that's my
Acronym
teaser for what I'm thinking of is like
You stupid bored apes, cyber cat garbage. Great villain force.
It's a
Anyways, my teaser for what I'm thinking of is like, you stupid bored apes. You stupid bored apes. Garbage. Like whatever. Like some people are stupid. That's cool. Whatever.
Can we make it so that the villains cross over?
That's cool. Some people are super. That's cool. Some people are super. That's cool. Apes. You stupid bored 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 apes. You apes. 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 What's going on, Dad? Anyways, I don't know. You're now showing me. Oh, what's going on, Dad? 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 Oh, Dad. What's going on, Dad? 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 What's going on, What's going on, Dad? What's going on, Dad?
We're all dads here.
What's going on, Dad? 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 What's going on, Dad?
What's going on, Dad?
What's going on, Dad? What's going on, Dad?
And every other stream is brought to you by coffee. Who knows?
On, Dad. What's going on, Dad? What's going on, Dad? What's going on, Dad? What's going on, Dad? What's going on, Dad?
Written by Cecilia. Watching too many spy movies. Okay, awesome. That's it.
Awesome.
Can we do something
Love it.
really?
Love
Can
the
we do something
creativity.
really crazy here? And sign up and try.
I love it. Let's do it. I love it. Let's do it. I love it. Let's do it. One. Let's do it. I love it. Let's do it.
This is us again. This is
I love
another
it.
week.
Let's do it.
Congratulations
I love it.
on being
Let's do it.
you. I hope
I love it. Let's do it.
the goal with these
I love
weekly
it.
streams
Let's
is
do it.
just to have you understand our intentions
with all this and see where we're at.
you know, and maybe keep us in check, right? Because we're passionate guys, and we have we really believe in this. And part of beginning this was how can we create something where because the further you get down developing something, the more you lose the early vision, or you're at risk of losing the initial spark, because things get really technical really fast, and then you might get really technical really fast, and then you just get really technical that fast, and then you just get really technical. So a big part of this is just get really technical really fast, and then you guys get really technical really fast, and then you guys know really fast, and then you also hold those really fast, and then you just get really technical really fast, and then you just get really technical especially fast, and then you just get really technical really fast, and then you just get really harder to have fast, and then you just get really technical really fast, and then you just get really technical really fast, and then you just get really technical. I always say something. You just get really technical super fast, and then you just get really technical really fast, and then you just get.
I like cheese.
I love cheese. That's my piece. I always say something meaningful at the very end of the stream. Yeah.
I like cheese.
I love
Cheese.
cheese.
And
I always say something meaningful at the very end of the stream. Yeah.
I like cheese.
I love cheese.
And I tried to be a vegan for cheese.
I love cheese.
Cheese.
I love cheese.
Cheese.
I love cheese.
Cheese.
I love cheese. Oh, that's it. The stream is done. It's official.
Cheese.
I love cheese.
Cheese.
That's it, everybody. As a sign off, can you still hear me?
It's a sign off from me to you. Goodbye from a stream within a stream. This has been a dream. This has been a dream for me. Hope the stream is still going.
And just remember,
This is just a stream. And we're all just in a
stream dream.
And it's important
in your dreams
to remember what they are because dreams have meaning.
And this is a streaming
Dream. A stream within a dream. A stream dream within a dream. What is real?
Find out next
Week on The Moose and Polo Show.